Welcome. We are here, episode 65, featuring Persha Gregg. So welcome to the Elite Podcast. This might be our first Monday show, but for Women's Month, we definitely stepping outside the box and trying to get as much women, females on, representing the females, so it's their month and we definitely want to do it right. So Karen, good
Absolutely.
evening, good night, good
Hello,
afternoon,
hello.
good morning, and wherever we are in the world today.
I know,
So
right? What up? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Everything is good. To be honest, I'm always excited to do an episode. Get to learn about the individual.
Great.
Sit here and really listen, and I just enjoy getting to know people. You know,
Absolutely. It's always fun. I look forward to it as well, even though, my days are busy and super tight, but this is always fun and relaxing to do. So, you know, glad to be
yeah.
here.
And real quick, shout out to Jareem and shout out to his team. The University of North Texas, Mean Green. That's
Yeah,
a dope nickname, by the way. But
it's pretty
congrats
cool.
to what they do. They created history for the school, and it was exciting, and we have people talking. So that was big up to them.
Yeah,
So
definitely a good game last night. Wished for a different outcome, but like you said, they made history. So can't ask for much more than that.
yeah, that's true. That's true. And then today's the start of women's basketball, correct? NCAA.
Yeah, so they actually started yesterday, but we got games going on today, and the Bradley Braves women's team is playing at 8 Eastern. So y'all gonna be watching us, so watch them on demand later.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. So, and then we have like a girl from the. I guess she's on St.
Yeah,
Thomas playing.
Aaliyah Boston, she's playing, I think that's her name, with the University of South Carolina. They're the number one seed overall in the tournament. They won the national title the last time there was a tournament, so rooting for them to win again. Their head coach is a black woman who's been making history down there in South Carolina as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they run through the tournament.
Yeah, their head coach is Don Staley, right? If I'm not
Yep,
mistaken.
yep,
Yeah,
correct.
that's
So
a good coach. Yeah, that's a good coach to play for.
yeah.
You know,
So wishing them the best.
yeah, definitely wishing them the best. Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody doing good. Shout out Charmaine, shout out Carrie Ann. Hope everybody doing well. I appreciate you guys tuning in. You support our Persha episode. So, hope everybody having a good week. Start of the week. Today's on Monday, right? Yeah. So good start
Yeah,
of the week, I
yeah,
guess you could say. Start a work week, I would say, for the
yeah.
ones who work Monday to Friday. Yeah, so for everybody doing well, I'm gonna go into the shout outs. The shout outs, and then we get rolling and everything. So, shout outs to legends340.com. Make sure you guys, check out the website. They got some derp shows. This is one of
Yeah,
their
I
shows
love the
as well,
shirt.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of them. So, definitely you guys check out the website. We got Savory Eats LLC. We also got meltingpotcookingclass.com. Also follow on Instagram, Melting Pot Cooking Class. We got Sibode Caribbean Restaurant. We got Next Level Up Printing. We also got Calypso Clothing LLC, calypsoclothing.com. Shout out to Dwayne. We got Hungry Hearts Hustle Apparel.com. Follow on Instagram at Hungry Hearts Hustle. We also got Island Time. We also got Coach Tiga 41, and he have his workout videos on Patreon. We got CaribbeanGirlsRock.com. Follow on Facebook at Caribbean Girls Rock, Instagram at official Caribbean Girls Rock IG. So me, you guys check out our website. They also got meltedbycrows.com. Also follow on Instagram and Facebook, Melted by Crows as well. We got Rico Canario. You guys check out his Facebook. We have Midnight Entertainment. Follow on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok at The Real Midnight. Also follow on Facebook, Real Midnight ENT. Also follow on Facebook at the City of Refuge Worship Center. We got the Good Life Apparel, AIM Credit Repair. Follow on Facebook at Livewire Sports. Also see Boogie Talks every Thursday 9 p.m. Make sure you guys check him out. His last episode last week, Thursday, he had Makeda on. It was a good episode, a lot of good information. They talked about stocks, they talk about empowerment, they talk about um, you know, raising children and the certain ways to do it to get their attention. So it's a lot of good conversation. They had a good conversation, good dialogue, good topics and stuff like that. So, you guys check out Christopher Henry Facebook page. See Booty Talks 9 p.m. every Thursday. We got the Brand LLC. We got On the Edge Performance. Also follow on Facebook and Instagram at Dexter_Sinister_exclusive. His clothing line Unapologetic. So make sure you guys check that out too as well. We got Apollo Legion, Paris Enterprise, Right Way Service Station, Bubbles Promotion. We have Larisha Star Brown with Stars Eats and Treats. We have Tegan and his new book, Mentality of a Pro, and I will have that up. His website, KevinCoachTShepherd.com. And we also got Nona Enviro Group, and the website is www.environona.com. So big up to Wayne, Waste Management Group out in Lake Nona in Florida, just right next, pretty much, Orlando area. So you guys definitely check out the website. Shout out to Wayne. Shout out to Chanel and the whole crew, involved with that business. So much love to them. And also, last but not least, the Elite Podcast YouTube channel, V.I.Legends. So you guys make sure you guys go out and subscribe, check it out, support everything.
Yeah. Follow, like, and share.
Yep.
That's what the people say.
Follow, like, yeah, that's what they say. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out, we just getting started and everything. So I hope everybody doing well. Good night to everyone. Appreciate you guys tuning in. So everybody who's watching on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel as well. So previous episode we had Lorna Davila. Great episode. What you think, Karen?
She was awesome. 30-something year career in the military, so that in and of itself was pretty cool. Definitely a history maker. First girls basketball team at Arthur Richards. First and only Miss Sufferelli. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
and
cool.
Then she played softball for GNIC, so we had a lot of community ties because she was from the West as well. But just really cool to hear her story after hearing Kareem's story, and knowing that she had just her own journey that was pretty interesting as well. So I totally enjoyed it. Hey, Carrie Ann.
Yes, I definitely enjoyed it. It was a lot of important stuff she talked about, and she really talked about her struggles and how hard she had to fight and all the obstacles and adversity she had to face, just being a woman and also being a Black woman and a woman of Caribbean descent. So that's like a triple negative in its sense already. So it was just unique just to hear her story. And she excuse me, I don't want to say she too much, but Lorna, she you could tell she was like someone that would definitely stand up for herself, and she was proud to stand up for women and Black women and Caribbean women of a whole. So shout out to Lorna. She's doing she's on the front lines dealing with the vaccines and stuff like that. So big up to Lorna and everything that she's doing, and appreciate her serving the military and representing the Virgin Islands as well too. So definitely shout out, big ups, much love. So we are here, episode 65. This is so many episodes, it's crazy. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And before we mention our guests that we have on today, I just want to say shout out to all the women, all the females that came on so far for Women's Month, and share their story. We are really appreciate it. It's been amazing. The feedback has been great. A lot of people has been excited and everything, so just being able to highlight and be able to hear stories from individuals that maybe a lot of people haven't seen in a long time, or the family members was able to hear this story from a different perspective, so it's been great. And I appreciate everybody that recommended anyone, and even the females and everybody in the chat as well. To appreciate you guys' support, asking questions and everything. So I just want to definitely get that out as well too. But we have Persha Gregg, episode 65. We here. So Karen definitely gonna do the introduction. I'll just shout out to Janae. She's the one that made this happen. So I don't think Persha had any, she had no choice but to say yes, so shout out to Janae. So This is she represented Persha. I don't know your performance tonight. You might got a show on TV1. Gina might be she might be excited, surprised. Your acting skills might come out. We don't know, but something good might happen. So
That's
but
funny.
that's our jokes. But I'll let you do your thing, Karen. So.
All right, so folks, our guest tonight is coming to us originally from Harborview in St. Croix. We are people from the west side here, but we love everybody because we are literally all one. She's a multi-sport athlete that went to Central High School, currently lives in Maryland, and she's a therapist focusing in creative therapy. So without further ado, Miss Persha Gregg, and apparently Pang is here. What up, though? Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Welcome.
Yes.
Happy to have you here, so.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Pang, I'm glad you made it right on time.
Right on time. I can hear me good?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Persha, what's up, man?
What's up, dude?
It's been years.
I know. Look at you, all agree.
That's I was playing with whiteout earlier and I get all over my face.
Okay. They look good though.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Same. You are always beautiful as ever, glowing, everything, always.
Thank you.
How has everything been?
Everything good. Can't complain, just taking it one day at a time.
All right, that's cool, man. Cool. Good night, Mumba. Good night, Karen.
Hey, what up?
Good night, brother. Good night.
How was your day? Yeah, you good? You okay?
Yeah. Fresh off of work.
Appreciate you, Pop. We always appreciate you, man. You're a hard-working person, so we definitely appreciate you always making your time.
But the goal is not to work hard. I don't want to work hard anymore. I work hard out of my life.
Yeah,
You're right, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So Persha, how has your week been? How's the kids, how the family, how everybody doing?
The week has been great. Today was 63 degrees. So anytime it's warm outside, I'm happy. The sun was shining, so it's a good start to the week. The kids are good. Baseball just started, so my son, he plays Little League. So I'm super excited to get back to my baseball mom role. We took a break they had started back last fall, but that's when everything was still kind of heightened with the COVID and stuff. So we took a little break, but I figured this spring we'll test it out and see. They put some really good COVID precautions in place. So, and he needs to get out the house. He on video games, just sitting around. Saturday in practice, he's sitting down every minute talking about he tired. I said, boy, you better get back out there. So he definitely got some conditioning he need to do, but just excited about that. My daughter, she's good. She dances and, she's my little mini me. So they gone to practice. So they'll be coming in at some point tonight, but I already warned them and told them don't interrupt. So we good.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Elite Podcast don't be when it's interrupted.
Yeah.
You were talking about my gray hairs, Porsche. I want to know where's the fountain of youth, because you don't look like you age a bit.
I can't give away the secret. Sorry.
Man, I need it. I need something to counteract the whiteout that I mess up my beard with.
Hey, a bottle of a dye will go a long way.
That's a good.
Honestly, I don't normally dye my hair whenever we got a show coming up, man. But I would bump it, man. I ain't got time for all of that today.
No, the salt and pepper look good, actually.
Right, I was just gonna say it looks very distinguished.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good word, Karen. I like
that's what it looks.
Distinguished.
Killing me. So Persha, who is Persha? Tell us about Persha, the person.
It's so funny to hear you say my name, Mamba.
Right? I say the same thing.
Everybody else is like
Persha coming from?
Janelle, like Portia.
Okay, so what's the correct pronunciation?
But Mumbai, yeah, that is the proper way to say my name. It is
Thank you.
Persha.
Thank you.
It's just I seldom hear it, and even up here in the States, everybody call me Persha. So hearing it kind of catch me a little off guard. But
well, I'm happy I finally pronounced somebody's name right. It's about time. It took 65 episodes, brother. So I'm happy. I accomplished something. I learned something. So thank you, Porsche. I appreciate it.
Oh,
you're welcome.
This is
So what
great.
was the question?
Crazy.
Sorry.
No, you good. No, you know who is Persha? Tell us about your upbringing. Where you from, where you was born. Take us on that journey.
Okay. So as I told Karen, I'm an East girl. So
and we still love you. It's cool.
So I am from Harborview. So I grew up in Harborview in St. Croix. Went to Elena. Played pretty much growing up. Sports was my thing. So I had a tendency to just be outside with the boys. We had a basketball court right in the back of our apartment. So it was just a matter of just whenever I see somebody outside, jumping across the balcony and just playing ball. Bogus, used to play ball with Bogus. Just all the boys in the neighborhood. And I credit my skills to that, playing with the boys and, you call it tomboy. So yeah, I was a tomboy, climb trees, play marbles, spin top. I mean, everything, you name it. So I had quite a variety in terms of talents. Went to Elena Christian, played. What did I play? I can't even remember if Elena had a volleyball team, but I know I played softball and basketball. Also went to Central. So at Central, I also played basketball, softball, volleyball. Same thing in college. So growing up, I give a lot of credit to just being able to get to college and being able to get there on a athletic scholarship. I'm thankful that I had that experience growing up and that I did play with the boys and I did learn how to be tough and I did just gain all these skills just hanging out with the guys, and that's one thing I would say that I like about myself, just the variety, like I could you said the Fountain of Youth, I could do the female thing, dress up, look nice, do the model and stuff, and then I could handle myself on the court. So
right.
That's something I like about myself. So what else? I have 2 kids, as I talked about before. They were born here in Maryland. My sister Charmaine, she's on. Her and I, she was living here in Maryland for a while. She moved to Virginia. So pretty much we've kind of just been together most of the time. I also have a brother in South Carolina, another brother in New York, and another brother in Florida, and another sister in New York. So I'm the baby. So I'm the youngest. And yeah, so pretty much here in Maryland, I ended up here thanks to Janae. And we could I don't know if you want to get in that story right now or later, but it was a situation where I came here to visit my undergrad. I went to Benedict College in South Carolina, and they were playing Howard, Janae's alma mater. And so I came for homecoming and, absolutely loved it because I didn't realize how many Caribbean people and Virgin Islands people live here in Maryland in the DMV. So I got here and, Janae and Lizzie and Jay said, you should just stay, just casually, you should just stay, and I was like, okay, so get on a computer, start looking up jobs, saw a job, applied, got the interview, and pretty much they hired me on the spot. So
nice.
I was in New York at the time. I was doing my internship. And interesting story with that. First time in New York ever. After graduate school, I went to graduate school at Indiana University. After graduate school, did my internship in New York. my first day of my internship was 9/11.
Wow.
Yes.
Perfect timing. Jeez, that's tough.
My first time ever in New York too. So here I am, I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know nothing about no Twin Towers. No, first time ever. I'm just barely learning how to catch the subway. Right? I was proud. I knew how to get from my sister's house downtown Manhattan to walk and back to my sister's house. So so first day I was doing my internship at a hospital, HIV hospital. So caught the subway, went downtown, got there, got to work, and then my supervisor came in. He came in. His name was Vinny, and he's like, "Oh, Arthur Brett, just telling everybody, do you know what just happened? Do you know what just happened?" So apparently, I caught the subway as soon as I got off. That's when everything had just hit. So he's just hysterical. You know what happened? So he told us, he was like, a plane just flew into the Twin Towers. And the crazy thing is that from the penthouse of the hospital, you could see the Twin Towers. So everybody was up on the penthouse looking. So immediately it was like, everybody have to leave. Like, you have to evacuate. Everybody have to go. Nobody still don't know the magnitude of the situation. So at that point, everybody leaving. So I grabbed my stuff, gone out on the street. Everybody just running, just chaos. So again, I don't know nothing about New York. I don't know. So obviously, I'm like panicking. So I just start running uptown too, following people. The trains, subway, everything has shut down. So it wasn't no way to get back uptown. So you just had to keep going, walking, running, whatever, as far uptown as you could. So eventually got uptown to where a train was running. I don't know where I was. I just was following people, right? And thank God for this one man. I explained to him where I trying to go, and he laid it out for me. So I ended up getting back to my sister's apartment. Now, the whole time, me and my sister, we couldn't communicate because my sister is an actress. So she was in Long Island shooting something. So, cell phones down. She don't know if I'm okay. I don't know if she's okay. It was just chaotic. It was scary. So long story short, I made it back to the apartment safely. So then my plan was to stay in New York because, I did some modeling and stuff. So I wanted to pursue some of that in New York as well. So, but I also had this job lined up for after my internship that I was going to work at. It was a residential facility for adolescents. So after 9/11, everything just shut down, hiring freeze, everything. So that whole plan, was non-existent anymore. So it was around that time when I visited Janae, and everything just fell into place. So in hindsight, I could see how, it all worked out to get me here because I absolutely love it here. But just that whole 9/11 experience was crazy. So got here, got the job. I've been here ever since. Was living with Janae for a while, and it was just it was a great experience. During that time, there was the Virgin Islands Association had a volleyball team. They had a softball team. So just coming here and just being around people from home and just seeing all that and being able to play volleyball with several girls that I went to school with, and just seeing the whole Virgin Islands community. It was like she didn't have to sell me too hard on staying. So of course I came and joined the VI Posse team, and we've been together ever since. That was in 2001 when I officially made the move to Maryland. So yeah. So that's a little bit about that, how I got to Maryland.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy that you was in New York when that happened. I think everybody could remember where it was when that happened.
Where they were.
I remember being in college and waking up to go class, and I just saw everybody run into the student union building because that's what the TV was. And I was in college, like you said, in 2001, and I just remember everybody was glued at the TV all day. They stopped class and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was just crazy that day. But you got to see, you got a front row of it being upstairs and watching the
Right.
building from a distance. Like, how was that? Like, what was going through your mind as that was happening?
Well, I did not go upstairs. I am not one that run.
No.
That's the one that run away from the fight. You know when they got fight and everybody running to the fight? I run wait. I did not go upstairs. He said we need to evacuate and get out. And that's exactly what I did. Because it wasn't too long after I got to work that he came in with that. So I didn't even really get to settle in. So yeah, I mean, I was scared. I was scared. Nobody knew what was happening, what it meant. And just being new to the area, I literally had no idea where I was going. I'm already directionally challenged. So
that's what's crazy to me was that you in the subway, you don't know what's going
Right,
on, and then next thing you know, somebody historical, you walk outside and everybody running out crazy. Like that sounds just like a movie. Like that's what it sounds like. That's like I can't imagine what was going to your mind when you hit this, the streets and everybody running around and you in a city like this your first time. Like
my heart was just ponging, and it was just that survival instinct. Just follow everybody, go where I need to go, and just eventually I got where I needed to be. But it was definitely scary.
It sounds like a movie, Persha. That sounds like a movie.
I know.
I tell you, that one, that's firsthand, man. That's, man.
I might need to sell that one to Janae, right, Pan?
Yeah.
See, we try and get you a show.
Yeah. Hey, I want my credit. Yeah. Mumba Rivera in the credits. I come with the last name, but I give you some credit for that one.
Janae is a connect, man. That's my new hero.
I know.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So go ahead, Park. You good? Go ahead.
Let's take it back to sports. We're gonna pick a sport. Like who put the basketball in your hand? I know you said you just used to look out your back window and whoever come out on the court, you just run out, jump over the railing and you go and play ball. But like, did anybody inspire you? Like, was there any local hero in Harborview, and like who gave you the inspiration to even want to play basketball?
Honestly, Pang, it was one of those things where I just wanted to imitate. Like literally, I would see people and I would just imitate. I just wanted to do it too. And in terms of influence, like I'm my biggest competitor, right? Mm-hmm. So if I see something and it's a challenge for me, I could stick to it until I could do it. And I don't know if I'm going ahead a little bit, Pan, but I used to imitate you and your ball handling. Like you would just be doing all kind of trick. You used to do this one thing where you would dribble the ball on your knee and make it come back up. Like I just used to follow you. I don't know if you remember how it used to be dribbling around the gym. Like I used to follow you. Like me and Pauline. No. Like yeah. So it's a lot like your handles. I don't know if you still have it, but your handles was impressive to me. So you're my hero in that one.
That's dope. That's awesome. That's awesome.
But just when I was little, I mean, sports in general was my outlet. And and not to get too much into it, but my childhood wasn't the best. I experienced some childhood trauma, and sports became my therapeutic outlet. And that's how, like, the hurt, the anger, the pain that I was experiencing, I channeled that into sports, volleyball especially. Basketball and softball, I was good. I played because it just came naturally because I was just good. Like when you're an athlete. And you could see just raw talent, right? You could tell those people that, this person never had any formal training, but you could just look at them and see their mechanics, see how they move, and be like, with some good training, that's how my son is in baseball. We put him in 2 years, no formal training. the boy just nice, just doing all kind of thing, like impressive, but he don't want like the training part. He ain't there yet. He just wanted to play and do. When I look at him, I'm like, dude, like, do you know how talented you are, right? So for me, it was that. It was like, I could just play it like softball and basketball, especially. So I just played volleyball, though. That was my love. Like, that's the sport I trained in. That's the sport that I felt the most confident in. That's the sport that I dominated the most in. And so, in terms of coach, Bao was somebody that Donald Bao, that worked with me with basketball, that was influential to me. Just his coaching style was good for me. In terms of just idols, or I never really had that. It was just always, what, I want to do this. It feels good. I feel good doing it, and I want to be the best that I could be doing it. And that's kind of how it went. And I remember when it was this one friend, Monique. What's Monique's last name? She was from home. She was playing in. It was the volleyball league in Juanita Gatti in the gym.
Monique Shiroka sister.
No,
Oh,
I don't know. I can't remember Monique. I can remember later, but it was just the open league. And I remember we were outside playing one day in the neighborhood. She had lived in Harborview, and she was telling me she had volleyball practice. And so I inquired, and I ended up going with her to practice. And it was, Miss Hobson, Rutlin Hobson, and the whole crew. And it was during that time when I was really in the midst of just the trauma that I was going through. And I remember just falling in love with it. Like, I hadn't really formally played before. And I remember just really just love it, just being so excited about it. And so that's how I started. And then I kept going. And when my mommy was really tough. It was church every night, church. I don't know if you listen, and I'm thankful for that, because that's what gave me my foundation, right? But it was like, we didn't really get to go a lot of places, my friends hanging out and stuff. And, I have to go to church, and so volleyball was that thing that I had that opportunity to just go out and just let loose a little bit, be with friends, and just have some freedom and just do me. And I remember telling my mom that I said, this is going to be the thing that's going to pay for my college. Growing up, I don't come from a family with a lot of money and all that. But my mother couldn't pay for me to go to college, and, I came from a divorced home. My dad struggled with alcoholism. So it was just my mom. And so, I had to figure out, how I going to get to college. And I remember when I discovered that I really loved volleyball, that became my thing. Like, I'm going to be the best I could be in this sport, and this is going to get me to school. And I remember telling my mom that, and I remember her kind of just shaking it off, like, okay, not really understanding how all of that works. And that fueled me even more to want to prove it to her. And so I did it, and that's, and it ended up with volleyball scholarship. And it's so interesting how that worked out, because we had a college fair. It was a college fair at Central. I don't even know if they still do the college fairs and stuff, but that was such a great idea. That was such a good idea. And I went to the college fair, and walking around tables and stuff, and I saw, I don't know if it was the pretty bright purple that just the tablecloth it's purple and gold. I mean, I don't know if it was that just drew me to that table. But I went to the table, and the recruiter was Miss Phyllis Thompson. I remember her to this day. We're friends to this day. And when your spirit just takes to somebody, like her and I just automatically, just our spirit just connected. And I pretty much, I'm so proud of myself when I think back on it, because I pretty much advocated and sold myself right there, to where she literally offered me the volleyball scholarship right there at the,
Wow.
yeah, no tape, no track, no nothing. She just took my word. Because I remember talking, I remember telling her I play volleyball, and so she just started asking more questions, and I think she even called the coach right there, and we talked, and it was like I pretty much had a guarantee that, I have a scholarship. And so that just became where I didn't even go. I don't think I even went to any more tables. It was just something. It was just something that was drawing me there. And to this day, I'm so glad. I'm so glad how that worked out. So and she always brags like, yeah, you are my recruit, and it's cool, because I think that was the first time that Benedict had even went there. And so me going there and playing, and so I went I went on a volleyball scholarship, and then I think it was like an intramural game or something was happening in basketball, and I was dribbling, I was probably showing off a little bit too, with my fun skills. And so the assistant basketball coach Star, so he was like, "You play basketball?" I think I was dribbling the volleyball. That's what it was. A volleyball practice. I was dribbling the volleyball, and he saw, and I was like, "Yeah, I got skills." And so he was like, "All right, let's play a 1-to-1." So Coach Hatton, I remember his name. Miss on high school here, I put on my dribble, and he was impressed. So after that, then they offered me some money for basketball.
Nice.
So I ended up being walking on a basketball team. And then the volleyball coach was the softball coach also. So then when she found out I play softball, they offered me money for softball too. So it was just cool. And I sell it lightly, but I see how my faith is my strength. I just see how God worked everything out and just put everything in place as it needed to be for me. So I played 3 sports in college. I was even so you were talking about Miss Safarelli. I think I was Miss. Was I Miss? No, I wasn't Miss Mather Dorm. I was Miss Miss Homecoming. Yeah, I was Miss Homecoming. And then I was actually Miss Benedict College. So that was
That's big, yeah.
yeah, that was
College. Well, that's,
I was the
nice.
queen. And that's what I think. I could do the court, and then I could come back and dress it up and do the nice little So,
Nice.
yeah, so that was a cool experience, because as a queen for HBCU, like you're the ambassador, so
Right. It's a job.
It's a big deal. Everywhere you go, you have to be suited up and ready to talk and represent the school in a positive way. And just being a queen that was an athlete, that was even cooler too. So
Right.
that was an awesome experience for me.
I'm gonna get to Dwayne question.
You could.
Let me
Go ahead, Karen. Sorry.
No, this is Mumba. Let me get to Dwayne question.
Yeah, so it's going back to the 9/11 situation.
Yeah, going back to the 9/11 situation.
Yeah.
So did you get to work the intern, or it canceled altogether? And what was your interning job? What was your interning job duties was supposed to be?
Okay, so yeah, I did get to finish my internship, and I think I was really close to finishing anyway. So because I needed to finish, I needed that to finish my master's program. So it was the Rivington House. It was a rehabilitative hospital for patients with HIV. Since I knew I wanted to be in healthcare, I started off very interested in in chemical dependency, and just going back to that story of my dad being an alcoholic and things like that, I had gravitated to that. But also the hospital with the HIV patients, that was interesting to me as well. So so my degree was in therapeutic recreation. So I did a recreation therapy internship where, just to give you some background about recreation therapy, is pretty much using, and you could use different activities, you could use different scenarios, you could use different role playing. You use different creative methods to help people rehabilitate. So in the sense of, like, for where I work now with the kids, I might frame certain situations. So for example, if we're playing a game, so if I have some kids that come in with anger management issues, I will purposefully set up a situation that's going to trigger that anger so that I could catch them in that behavior and correct it and allow them the opportunity to choose the right response, to learn the proper response, to learn proper coping skills, to learn how to express themselves more appropriately. So giving them the tools and also allowing them the opportunity to demonstrate the proper response so that I could give them that positive feedback. So it's pretty much that. And then just different challenges. I used to be certified in challenge courses. And various situations to just teach coping skills and allow them to express themselves and to address the problem in a less threatening way as talk therapy does. When you sit down and it's like, okay, let's talk about it, which we incorporate talk therapy as well. But when you use the creative means, it allows them to feel less threatened. And then you can go even deeper into what the issue is and work on it that way, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I did at my internship as well. It was more so helping the patients because my thesis was, I don't remember the exact title, but it was pretty much looking at the impact of pursuing leisure or enjoyable experiences with an HIV diagnosis. So you're gonna die, right? So do you even care anymore to enjoy your life? Do you even care anymore to do those things that you love, to participate in those leisure activities and have those experiences that you love? So it's seeing what that impact of having that diagnosis, that terminal illness, how that plays into people still wanting to have a quality of life. Like, do you want that, or are you gonna quit? So it's pretty cool to do. Hope that answered your question, Dwayne. And what was the second part of the question? Sorry.
What were your responsibilities supposed to be? Or I think you covered it.
Yeah, so that was kind of it.
Well, Carrie Ann had a question that I was thinking of as well. How did you manage playing 3 sports in college with academics and all the other things you had going on?
I just did. And the crazy thing is I managed to maintain a 4.0 GPA. Yeah, I was on the president's list.
Extra impressive.
I got the watch and everything. So I don't know. I just, and people say, like, people from the Caribbean and stuff, we take our education seriously,
Right.
I know I wasn't leaving St. Croix to come fool around, like I was there to do my best and being an athlete, like I had to maintain the grades to play. So, I mean, it was just fun. Like it was just fun. My program, initially, I went to school I wanted to study physical therapy. But when I got there, they had just discontinued the program, I guess, because of low enrollment or whatever. So, so here I am now, like, okay, so what else I gonna pick? And Jenny was talking about them long lines, in this registration. And, you just stand in the lines and you hear people talking. And I think I heard somebody mention therapeutic recreation. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. and just having, athletic background and stuff, I kind of figured, okay, I could incorporate all of that. And so that's how I ended up choosing therapeutic recreation. And I mean, it just worked. Like, we had a lot of support in terms of, help with work if we needed it. And, they made certain exceptions for certain things, but I was always a high achiever, so I wanted to do well, and so it by God's grace, I managed to hold it down.
You always
very well.
you always been a smart individual though, because I could remember you excelling in Central too.
Thank you, Pang. Yeah, I don't know if it was a last child thing, but my sister was the bad one, so I had to make sure I did what I needed to do and went to school and got my grades. But yeah, it's just I think it's just an innate thing. I like to do well at whatever I'm doing.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Like Janae, weren't you in modern dance too in Central?
So I wasn't as heavy no, I wasn't in modern dance, but I was in chorus. So I did the Magalena Sule dance. So
Gotcha.
and I enjoyed that so much. I loved Sule class. And that was actually the dance that I won Miss Benedict with. So yeah, and it was just so cool. So, just going, first of all, just leaving St. Croix, going to South Carolina. I'm quite sure y'all experienced it too. It's kind of like a culture shock. You get there and, it's like, wow. And they were equally fascinated with me. I was this island girl, had my big bush, and I think at the time I was still in my tomboy phase. So I had my baggy pants and, and everything. But, my accent was still heavy, and I just looked different and exotic to them. And for some of them, it was their first experience meeting an island girl, so in their minds, they're thinking, we riding around on boats and all kind of the questions that they approached me with. It was like, really, right? So I really hung on to that. That was my identity, Persha from the islands. And so when I did run for these pageants and stuff, that's what I went to. My culture was my talent, and so I remember for the introduction I came out. You remember when sarongs, when that was like a style, the wrap dress and stuff. So I had on my sarong, my big hat, and I come out. I think I even did a chant for my intro. I like chant, Pang. See, I get that from YouTube, Pang.
Persha, you just set yourself up in it, right?
No.
Yeah. We got to hear a chant towards the end there. Yeah.
I mean, it's only right.
Yeah. Pang, like you say, you get from Pang, so Pang could help you with a chant.
I don't even remember what I said, but I come up with something creative. And
that's cool.
And then for my talent, I did Sule dance, and everything was just related to that. Just taking a lot of pride in that. And after that, after you win HBCU as HBCU queen, then you move on to the Miss HBCU pageant, where all the college queens from every HBCU come together and compete. And that happened in Atlanta. And that was so cool, just to be in the presence of all the very talented and just amazing, just high achieving Black women, and like that's a big deal. Like that pageant, they had all kind of VIPs there, and we just got exposed to so much. And that one stretched me out of my comfort zone. So, I stuck with my Magalena, right?
You got to.
Do what you know.
I stuck with what was working, but that was the big leagues pageant there. So but this time I said, okay, I go step it up a little bit. I go enhance the Magalena dance a little bit. So I decided that I was going to spit fire in the dance, right? So
Oh,
I
boy.
remember them men at home that would eat the fire and then spit it, right? So yeah, I gonna add that to the Magdalena dance. So the problem was for the preliminary, because so it was, you had to pre-qualify, so you had to do everything before the big pageant. And so it was in a hotel, in them event rooms. And the room that where we were doing the talent was small and enclosed. Not a very good idea. If you can imagine where I go with this, right? So, I was confident. Everything had my fire, had my like the fluid to spit my fire, my wash I had to put in on everything. And so, I did my dance, and the intro started with the fire. So, I had a little piece in the beginning, and I would turn around, I spit the fire, and it was going good. Like, I didn't burn down the place or nothing. The problem is the smoke. It was too much smoke in that enclosed room. So, needless to say, I smoked down the place, and they had to take a break. Right? That was such a bad idea. That was such a bad idea. The dance had looked good, my outfit and everything had looked good. It was just I probably should have left the fire for another time. So I didn't place. I didn't place to go in the finals, but it was such a great experience anyway. And just thinking back on it, I could laugh at it, but appreciate just everything I learned, and just the different people I met, and just how it stretched me and pushed me out of my comfort zone, and make better decisions next time. Just leave Magdalena. Magdalena was already a winner. I gone and want to add stuff. So
But you didn't burn the building down. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it could have been worse. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, I guess.
yeah.
That's funny. But that's a major accomplishment, and
Yes,
being able to
absolutely.
experience that. So, so that definitely, that's always remember that moment,
Oh yeah.
And you have a
So,
great story to tell from it.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So we got
yeah,
two
a few
questions.
questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll get to our Baptiste question first, because I know you kind of touched on it already, and then we'll get to
Angie's question.
Angie question. Yeah. So Baptiste asks, what year were you Miss Benedict College?
I was 99 2000. Yeah, 99 2000, my last year. I was Miss Homecoming before that. Yeah. And then 99 2000. Because I graduated in 2000. I'm getting old. Sorry. I have to, yeah.
We all go through that moment right there that we forget.
Sometimes I forget how old I am. Like, literally, I'm like, wait.
Me too, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
think about it a little bit. It's a thing. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then we got Angie's question. Did your health have any impact on your on you playing sports?
So just to give you a backstory with that. So I am a lupus survivor. So I was diagnosed with lupus in 2003. So the good thing is I didn't get diagnosed till after I was finished with college. And like I am so glad, because after I was diagnosed, it hit me pretty hard. It was a point in time where I literally almost died. It was some points where I couldn't walk. I had to use a wheelchair. So just thinking back, just being so grateful that I got to experience, the full college experience in undergrad, as well as graduate school. So no, it didn't. Like I was good. I was good. I gave it all I had. I was captain of our team. All tournament MVP here and there. So I really gave it everything. I played hard, and I really enjoyed it and got to just experience it to the fullest extent. So I'm thankful for that.
We
with
we're
with the
glad you're here
lupus.
to share your story with us, and we're glad you're glad you survived. I remember around the time because I think it was either Janae or maybe your sister had posted on Facebook. Back then it was only Facebook. I think just so everybody could just show their support for you and your recovery. And so I remember that like vividly reading that I'm just like, nah, not Porsche.
Yeah.
Even though I ain't got a clue what lupus was at the time, but I just know for based on the post, it was serious, and
Yeah.
we're just glad you're here to share the story today.
I'm glad I'm here too.
Persha. So
Yes.
my when I was in high school, so I want to say back in 96, 97,
Mm-hmm.
my mother got diagnosed with lupus and she almost died too.
Mm,
And it just came out suddenly and she spent like about maybe 4 to 6 months in the hospital in Puerto Rico. No, now I've been on the front lines. I haven't experienced it, but that's my mom, so I seen how lupus have affected her health, affected her body, the changes,
yeah.
all the different stuff that all the side effects and stuff that goes along with lupus, having been diagnosed with lupus and living with it. Now, when you got diagnosed, how was you feeling? Like how did that happen? Like, did you get real sick, real bad that you went to the hospital, or was it like light symptoms where you went to get check up and then they diagnosed you? Like how was the steps?
Okay. So yeah, so my diagnosis was interesting. So it wasn't any preliminary stuff really. Like it literally just came on. So how it happened, it was yeah, so I moved here in 2001. So 2003, my ankle was just swollen. My ankle was just swollen one day and it just stayed swollen. And um, at that time I was still playing ball. I was playing with the VI posse team, and I don't know if I started playing with the VI softball team yet, but I was still very active, playing sports and just busy and active, like, just doing a lot, hanging out, partying and stuff like that. And I remember this one family friend, um, she noticed it, and I think she was like in the healthcare, and she was like, she from St. Thomas, Auntie Lindsay, and she was like, You should probably go get that checked out, and I was again just nonchalant. I just think I just doing too much. And so, after a while it was like, okay, this ain't going away. And then I started getting tired, like not just like regular tired, just fatigue. Like I could sleep for days and I would wake up and just feel like I ain't sleeping days. So just that kind of fatigue where you can't recover from it. And so I ended up going to a foot doctor, right? The podiatrist. And it was the strangest thing. He mentioned he thinks I should go see a rheumatologist, um, because he was suspecting some kind of, rheumatoid something going on. And so went to a rheumatologist, um, and before even like doing too much, he kind of threw it out there, just very passively, like, this might be lupus. So I don't know how much you guys know, but with lupus is very hard to diagnose because it could mask so many other diseases. It could look like so many other things.
Yeah.
So for me, like my diagnosis happened like really quick, like within a month. So when I think I went to my primary care first, primary care sent me to the podiatrist sent me to the rheumatologist, did the blood work and stuff, and rheumatologist diagnosed me. He walked in that day and he was like, Persha, it's lupus. So, me carefree, thinking I could conquer the world. It didn't really hit me. I had no clue what lupus was, like so many people, until you know somebody that have it, right? I
Mhm.
I think I knew like one person that had it, and it was this lady in college. I had dated her son for a little while. And I just remember she just was always sick, but still I didn't know like much about it. So I got the diagnosis. I remember just sitting there, like, okay, like, what does mean? And I kind of didn't really take it as much. And I just continued just doing me. And then I remember it was about a month later. That's when everything just started going downhill. I ended up, so I was initially diagnosed with kidney disease. So my kidney wasn't functioning properly. With lupus, it can attack anything. So it was attacking my kidneys. And so because my kidneys weren't filtering, like I was retaining a lot of fluid. So I was just swollen, like my legs were like my legs were so big, and I was going to try to find a picture to show you guys. You would have not believed that was me. Like my legs were so huge, like to the point where you could poke it and it would just create like this crater, like holes, because there was so much fluid in it. And so with that, I could barely walk because I would be tired, and it just started just progressing. So then eventually one night, I was dating my ex-husband at the time, and I think I had gotten so bad that I had moved in with his mom, because his mom and his aunt had they had just opened this assisted living facility for older people. And so they had the chairlift, to go up the stairs. Their house was just set up to where it just was easier for me. And he had just gotten laid off or something. So he had moved, my ex-husband, he had moved to work with his uncles in New Jersey or something. So, it was just me. My sister wasn't living here yet. So I moved in with his aunt. They're both Santomian. So they took me in. So it wasn't no issue there. But one night, and he was there at the time. One night I was going up the steps. I think I was walking, going up the steps. And I like literally, it's like somebody just grabbed me and stopped me, right? And I just couldn't breathe, like literally, like struggling. And every time, like I tried to take a breath, it like literally felt like a knife was just stabbing me in my chest. Like that's like the worst pain I think I ever felt next to childbirth. And so I just like I couldn't breathe, trying to take a breath, and I was trying to call. His name was Scott. I was trying to call him, so I remember just being like, nothing coming out.
Wow.
And I just holding on to the railing or the step, and I kind of was down on my knee, and I think he heard like the bang, like when I kind of dropped down on a step, and then he came and he's like, "What happened?" And I couldn't really talk, and so he wake everybody up, because I think it was like 1 a.m, something like that. So they rushed me to the emergency room. I can't even remember if the ambulance came or if they took me, but I remember just struggling to breathe and it just being painful just every time I got some air in. So long story short, got to the hospital, they did the test and stuff, and I ended up having a pulmonary embolism. So I had 4 like large blood clots in my lungs that had released from my legs because I was retaining so much fluid. I developed clots in my legs, and they broke loose and they traveled to my lungs. And typically people that end up with blood clots in their lungs don't survive.
Yeah.
And so just that in itself, and it was 4 like bad ones. So they ended up putting me on, blood thinners, and that's when, and I was in hospital for a while, a few days, maybe a week or so. And that's when lupus caught my attention. That's when I was like, okay, I need to pay attention because this thing ain't no joke. So that experience changed my perspective. And I remember being in hospital, and you know, my ex and I were talking, and like we were scared. It was like, oh my gosh, you know, and I remember us just really having a heart to heart, like, you know, we're gonna fight this, we're gonna beat this thing. And my perspective just changed. And that whole competitive athletic thing just rose up in me. I was like, we're gonna beat this thing. And so that's when I started doing the research and trying to learn about what was lupus, and that changed. And from then, I think once my perspective changed, I just started getting better. Like, it's just crazy. It's like one minute I about to dead, right? And then it's like when that thing woke up in me, like, nah, you know, is I just started just making baby steps and getting better. And during that time, I had to I was on disability for about a year. And so just even my job, and I tell you guys how you know God just puts things in place. Like, I remember just the president of the hospital, because at my current job, I've been there. That's my job. I've been there 20 years. Like, after grad
Oh,
school,
wow.
that's where I went. I'm still there in the same department. You know, I went as a therapist, and now I'm the director, the manager. So
Nice.
um you know, it's just a great place with just great people. And the president of the organization, I still have the hand note that he wrote to me. He wrote this note to me, and you know, he was just reassuring me, like, don't worry, you do what you have to do to get better. Your job is going to be here. Don't worry about work. Like, people donated their PTO to me, like, just so many, like, just blessings to where I just didn't have to worry about, you know, that aspect. And you know, and I just they started me on the medication, and that takes a while to just find what works for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the beginning, I was on like a lot, like the highest dose of steroids. So I had like the big round face, and, you know, my hair fell out. So that's why and that happens from time to time. So whenever like it gets really bad, I'll just cut it off, because when it fall out, it's just falling out. And, like, my features just changed so much. Like, I was unrecognizable. I would look in the mirror and be like, wow, you know. And so eventually, you know, we found the right treatment um, methods for me, the right combination of meds. And, you know, I was able to just get back to a good place where I could play ball again. And we ended up getting married. And, you know, with lupus, they advise you to not have kids. Well, then, because it could kill you. Because pretty much with lupus is, you don't want to put stress on your body. Stress is like the enemy. So any kind of stress to your body, and pregnancy is like, that's trauma to your body. So that's why they're so hesitant when it comes to pregnancy and lupus, because it could kill me, it could kill the baby. And, you know, so we have to have that discussion. And usually people get really sick. But for me, both pregnancies, it was like the lupus went away. I
Wow.
felt so good. Like, I felt my best. I had energy. I just felt good. I looked good. You know, and I had no issues. I still had to do the high risk pregnancy, the high risk doctors. So I still had to go to the doctors a lot, just, you know, all the extra tests and, you know, all the extra stuff. But Emmanuel, like my firstborn, that's why I'm about to cry.
It's okay. I appreciate you
Yeah,
definitely,
you good.
definitely
Yeah.
sharing that with us. I really, really, really appreciate you. Langolo just made a comment as well to her mom. Rest in peace to her mom, and her mom also had lupus as well too. So
Oh, wow, Langolo. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why we named my son Emmanuel. It means God with us. And yeah, God was just with me, man. So pregnancy went well. Um, my first one, my second one, you know, I had to do C-sections because they didn't want to put my body through that much stress with pushing. But I wanted to try to push. I wanted to see what it felt like, just to see. But then we ended up doing it. The doctor was like, no, that's enough. And so we did that. And yeah, so now if I don't tell people I have it, you really don't know. Um,
Mhm.
I'm in pain every day. Pain is just a part of it. And like I have a very high tolerance for pain. So like my pain level for me is like I'll work through it. For somebody else, they will probably have to stay in bed all day. So I've just gotten to that place where I could work through it. But I know how to read the signs when like I'm doing too much and I just need to slow down. But right now I'm on a very, very low dose of steroids, like almost nothing. And then on this other drug, the hydrochloroquine. That's what Trump was hoarding. That was
Right.
the miracle drug that that
Yeah.
they were saying, the lupus drug that they were saying, excuse me, that might have been the what was it for COVID? Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But so I'm on just those two meds and managing pretty well. I like I said, pain is just a part of it. Just the joint pain that just comes with lupus. Um, and I haven't had COVID, but the people that I've heard say they had it and just the achiness, the joint pain, it just makes me wonder if it's similar. It's like with lupus, it's almost like having the flu every day, like that achiness kind of thing. But mine, that comes with the flare ups. I haven't really had a major flare up in a while. So I'm just thankful. So yeah, I just try to live my life like I don't have it. I take my meds every day. I try to eat good and stay active and just thank God for my blessings. So
You got me over here crying too, Portia. So
oh,
don't feel bad.
I
So
see Pang wiping his eye on the low
yeah,
too.
I ain't gonna lie. I could relate to you just because like I said, my mom. I've seen my mom go through it even up to this day. She have a bad day, she have a good day. So
Yeah,
I'm not experiencing what you guys experience, but I've witnessed it firsthand from a kid. So my heart definitely goes out to you, and I definitely appreciate you really really sharing that with us. So
yeah.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Thank
And
you.
Oh, yeah.
you're a very strong individual. You're stronger than me because I probably would have break down a long time ago. I just commend you and man, just happy that you're here to share that story with us. And we are really appreciate you for sharing that with us because you didn't have to. Um, and that would bring some awareness because I don't know much about lupus and I've just learned some things today. So
Mm-hmm.
and yes, you definitely got me over here tearing up, and we're gonna talk about that later. I don't want to ever do that again. Because Portia, like I know you for a long time, man, and just to see that and just to hear that, I mean, and know that you've been through that, man, and I just you're very strong and inspirational. So just thank for you to be here with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. And and just pretty much with lupus, if you just the layman's explanation is just where the body it attacks itself. It can distinguish between good cells and bad cells. So it just goes into hyperdrive and just attacks everything, attacks anything. So the reason for the steroids is because you have to keep your immune system suppressed so that it's not in overdrive fighting everything down. So usually is the secondary illnesses that will usually either kill somebody or really make them sick because your immune system is shut down. So if you get anything, a cold, a flu, or whatever, like your body can't fight it off because if your immune system too active, it's just going go into overdrive and attack all the good stuff. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. But I am thankful. I am thankful. I'm grateful because I do get to. I am a lupus ambassador with um, the well, it's not Human Genomic Sciences anymore. They changed, but GlaxoSmithKline and this company called Snow Companies. So I haven't done it in a while, but I have the opportunity to travel around, the country and share my story and just inspire people and pretty much be like, hey, look at me, I could do it, you could do it, you know. So, but it's really your attitude, you know. I think once you your perspective changes, because that's when it clicked for me, you know, that no, I'm not gonna just sit down and let this thing do what I'm gonna do what I can, you know, in terms of my control to be able to fight. And I think that's half the battle for almost anything, you know, sports too. Like if you can't get your mind right, you know, you're already defeated. If you step on the court, you know, thinking negative, and you know, it goes with everything. So you kind of have to already know what your stance is and have the right perspective, um, that you're gonna do as much as you can to fight, you know, and then you could walk away knowing, you know what, I gave my best, and what it will be, but at least I went now fighting, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I'm
Beautiful,
glad you're
beautiful,
sharing,
beautiful.
because for a long time I thought Lupus was somebody who lived Mumbai Jew. So um,
Not
I'm,
mommy.
I'm glad you're sharing.
Oh, pang.
Viewers,
fun,
we
fun,
appreciate
fun
you.
fact that we could lighten
Real,
up the mood. We could
real,
lighten
real,
up the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
real quick. I just want to shout
Go
out all
ahead.
the viewers. I want to shout out all the viewers for their kind words and all their inspirational words as well too. You know, so I appreciate you guys. You
Oh
know,
yeah, that's my
yeah,
cousin.
that's sweet. You know, of all
Thanks,
you
sis.
guys doing that. You know, appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys for the love.
Team
Oh,
YOLO. Tough.
oh, that's yeah. So I did the Tough Mother. Y'all know about the Tough Mother?
No.
No,
When did I do that? That was, I think it was like 5 years ago or so. But pretty much, I can't even remember the total miles it was. But it's pretty much this like survivor kind of obstacle course thing, like hardcore in mud, like just mud.
oh,
That's what
okay,
we
I know
call
you're
it,
talking
Tough
about.
Mudder. So it was a few of us from the Virgin Islands. We did it with a few other. There was a few other ladies in the military, and it was we started. It was Squibs and Chad from St. Croix, and I think it was like three other American girls. But we started in 13 miles. Squibs say, yeah. So 13 miles. So we started in the morning, and we weren't done till I want to say it was like 7 o'clock at night or something like that.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it literally, like just this grueling course. Like I think that was the hardest thing I voluntarily put myself in, and but it was such an accomplishment. I mean, like it ended with the last course was this pit, like this trench, this big trench full with mud, like muddy water. And then above had like live electrical cords hanging down, like live wires, right? So we were literally electrocuting ourselves. Like you had to run from one end to the next. And I remember going through that thing. I was like, oh, 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 and just like trying to get through people, like the facial expressions on people's faces. Like, if I do this again, that's the one I probably did it because I didn't know what to expect, but now I know how much that thing hurt. That last one, but it was crazy. It was and then it had this one ice. You had to like slide down into like this pit of ice. I don't like to be cold. I don't like cold water. So that one like take my breath away. And then it's like this other one, you was like on this high trapeze, and you had to jump off of and below it was like this big, deep, like muddy pit. It was lifeguards in the pit and everything. Like it was high, and you had to jump on a platform trying to hit the bell to ring it. I don't think anybody accomplished that. And I remember just falling in that muddy, nasty water and just swallowing. Like I swallow Yeah, Karen, I swallowed so much
Jeez.
like mud. I remember the lifeguard was like, "You okay?" And I was just mad that I didn't ring the bell. Like I was really mad. Like I wouldn't do that one again either. Because that one was like that was ridiculous. And like when I hit that water, it sting. And the next one was like we had to carry each other up like this big hill. And so I think I had squibs on my back. Squibs, I don't know how much you weigh, but I think my knees were never the same after that. Like on the cold, I could not jump. My knees were never the same after that. So it was just this amazing thing. I think I was out at work for like the rest of the week. The next day
Wow.
I was, and that was like probably the dumbest thing to do having lupus too, because talk about stress on your body. I had all kind of red whelps and just all over my body from the shocks. Like I was swollen. I was done. I was done. I was done.
That's rough.
But
Wow.
needless,
But you did it.
I did it, and I
Yeah.
could now I could say that I am a tough mother. I did it,
Right.
and I had my shirt, and it was great. It was fun. It was fun.
So they might bring you out to retirement then for one more.
I don't know. They were mentioning it the other day. I don't know if I could. I don't know
You
if I
could
could do
coach.
that.
You could coach.
Right, you can help train them, prepare
Yeah,
for
you
it.
could train somebody. Yeah,
Do that.
Something, but it was cool.
we want you to give your Hall of Fame speech down the line. So yeah, you could be a trainer. No more
True that.
Right,
performance.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It was cool.
Fun fact. So Mumbai is the baseball man up here. The only softball game that I've ever watched at St. Croix, you was on the team.
Really?
Like how was only time I ever used to watch softball is to come and watch Pauline play in
In
West.
Central. Oh yeah.
It used to be you, Pauline, Lily,
Yeah.
Rose.
Rose.
I could never remember this girl name from San Farm. I want to say Savelle.
Savelle, yeah.
Savelle, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Savelle was good.
I
Oh, you
was
had a
the
good
only
squeak, a good team.
baseball I ever watched on St. Croix at any
Really?
time of my life.
So
And
you never went like Canigata to watch them play in like the open league or nothing?
well, no. Only to watch how you play. If you playing East, then I came. So that was the only time. But so like how was playing softball growing up? How was that?
I mean, it was cool. It was one of those things that I just picked up naturally. I wouldn't say that I loved it. Like honestly, I just played it because I knew how, because I could. Even in college, like, and even with that, like I wasn't as confident. I would say I just played, not really like when I was talking about the formal training, never really had that formal I just did it because I could, and it was always fun because I always had fun teammates. In college I liked pitching. I pitched a little bit. I played outfield. I wasn't as fat in terms of the pitching. I was slow. My windup was slow, but I was accurate.
Once you trust strikes, that's the most important.
right. As long as you're hitting your spots, you're good.
Yeah, but I had some teammates, and this one girl, she would just loose that thing, and it's like, wow. And I always thought that was impressive. I just couldn't do that fast. But so it was cool. I mean, at home, everything was just fun. It was just really just about the fun. With softball, basketball, same thing. I point guard. I just love dribbling. Like I just like going through the legs, and like even my son, like I would be schooling, he'd be like, "Mom, how do you know how to do that, Mom?"
Do you know that was my first meeting of you, watching you dribble? And correct me if I'm wrong. I remember when you had came Central. I remember Bo was kind of like boosting you up to play, because I don't think you wanted to play basketball in school. And I think I can remember Bo like like bringing people around to come and see you showcase your skills a little bit. And I remember him boosting you up to like just show people what you got. And I think that's kind of what got you into playing basketball, and the reaction where everybody, just like you said, like your handles was unmatched. Like people like the other girls on the team, they could play, they have confidence, they've been playing a while, but you, like you said, you just had natural God-given talent where you start to dribble and you were doing move that no other girl has St. Croix doing at the time. And I think the reaction you get, that's what kind of like boosts you up to end up playing on the team. Because I remember when Bo bring you to practice,
Yeah.
and just like, my son, you gotta play, my son. You know how Bo the type, my son. You
Yep.
ain't that, my son. You gotta play, brother. You crazy? You got all this game, and and Bo boosting you up to play, and Portia get out there and start to dance and them, and next thing you know, he was the point guard of the team, and you were still kind of lacking in the confidence, but like Bo was the official motivator, and then you had some good road dogs in Felicia, Pauline, all the teammates, them, you know what I'm saying? Lily, Rose to boost you up. So it was just fun watching how you play, because at the time I really had no competition at the time.
Yeah, and that's probably, and you're right. Like my confidence, just night and day, volleyball all day, but basketball, I was very timid, because I would look at Felicia and Sandy and like they're just aggressive. I'm not like an aggressive on a volleyball court, but when it comes to contact and being in there and trying elbow, that wasn't me. But dribbling and just the finesse in that, I just wanted to be really good at dribbling and stuff. But yeah, just the other girls, like I know they had it, so I didn't mind, like being in the background and just playing more of a supporting role in that sense. But it was just fun. Again, it was just really fun. And everybody was just always supportive, like you said, just encouraging me, like, P, you could do it, you could do it. And Bo wasn't letting me. He had lived in Harborview too, a neighbor, so he wasn't letting me go nowhere. I had to play.
Right.
My sister had played too for Central, so it was kind of like, you're athlete, you got to play kind of thing. I'm glad I did, because we had a lot of fun, like especially all them trips to Puerto Rico, and it was crazy. It was fun.
I remember your sister being like a powerhouse.
Oh yeah.
Post.
Yep. She was the one down in the post that would just be knocking people out and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. That wasn't for me.
Like being after college, or even during college, like being that you were good in basketball and volleyball, and did you have any opportunity to play on either sports, any of the national teams then?
Yeah, I played for the national team. I think Jenny had talked about that. That was the volleyball national team. And where did we go? We went to, we did Puerto Rico, and then that one tournament when we had played on the concrete outside. That was in, what's that small island? It starts with a C.
Curacao.
Is it Curacao?
In Puerto Rico, you mean?
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, I think so.
You got Calibra.
I can't remember, but I remember we were riding horse and it was like, huh?
I know of a small island.
Vieques, yeah. That was so much fun.
You remember in Central, we went to a carnival in Vieques?
Yes. That was, man, we used to party. We
all the way live.
Yes. So yeah, we played in the national team, and that's when Jenny was talking about we had to wear the panty them, and yeah. Well, it was so cool because I remember going to those tournaments, and all the young kids in the community like coming to us for autographs, and we just acted like we were just like big VIPs. That was pretty cool. Hey Tyrone, I see Tyrone. It's a big party, yeah.
One thing. Go ahead, Mumba. Go ahead.
No, you good.
No, you go ahead, man. I hagging up too much of the questions, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to go somewhere else, so I'm not sure if you're still in.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you how was your relationship like with your siblings growing up?
You know, that's interesting. We were just talking about that. We had a group chat, me and my siblings, I want to say like 2 weeks ago. And it was cool because it was actually pretty therapeutic. Our family wasn't really much of it wasn't like a lot of physical affection, like lovey. I used to, like some of my friends, I used to envy their family and their relationships and stuff, especially having their dad and stuff around. But me and my sister Charmaine, we spend the most time together because my brother, like I don't really remember much with my older sister Jackie and my other two brothers because they left the island like right after like school. Like my brother left to go to in the military, and then my sister Jackie, she went to Rutgers University.
Nice.
And then my older brother, I don't remember any time with him at the house. He was a troublemaker, and my mother sent him away from long. To just ship you off to somebody else in the States, some other family. So
that's true.
Yeah, but me and Charmaine, like we were the closest. Nobody used to mess with me because Charmaine, like everybody was afraid of Charmaine. Like
The gangster?
Yeah. Like National Guard come and shut down the road one day for this fight she had in Central. Like National Guard had to come, okay, and stop traffic, and like she gonna be mad I put she on blast. But yeah, she was just tough. She always had my back. Still do to this day. And
That's nice.
so most of my memories, it was love hate. I was the youngest, so I would exaggerate, and I'd hardly get licks. Like I would do the bad stuff, and then she would get licked.
Oh.
So it was one of those. I was good at manipulating and fake crying and acting like stuff was worse than it really was. So yeah, it was cool.
Up until today, I thought it was just you and Charmaine. I just learned that you had other siblings today for the first time.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yep. What was lad? He telling she was a bully. This cracking up.
Oh yeah, the comments jumping.
Yeah, the comments jumping. Yeah, I think Charmaine don't remember those events in during those times. So.
I see Langolo. So yeah, Langolo. So my family, my mom and my dad from St. Vincent, and my older brother. Actually, my older brother and my other brother, they were born in St. Vincent too. So just me and Charmaine were born in St. Croix. So I have like this big family in St. Vincent and Bequia that I got to travel there once, and I met some of them. Like it's so many family over there that I don't even really know. And if I could say like I have a regret, and it's never too late, but I just wish that my family was closer and that I knew the rest of my family and like my grandparents. I never met. I met my grandfather, my mom's dad, before he passed. I have so many cousins. One of them is her name is Persha Gregg too. It's weird. Like my mom at the last minute, my mom didn't know what to name me, and she just took my cousin name. Which I love her name. So
that's funny.
Tell me if this is your experience, or tell me how true this is. And I'm gonna tell you why I asked this.
Okay.
In St. Vincent, and I meant to ask Langolo this when she was on. In St. Vincent, any word that ends with BLE, do they put an O at the end?
I don't know.
So the reason why I say that, so Frenchie from St. Vincent,
Uh-huh.
So
Well, yeah,
Frenchie,
from St.
yeah,
Vincent.
Frenchie whole family from St. Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
So when Frenchie moved to St. Croix, you know, his mother was always living there. Like I know his mother from Smile. So her kids were living back. I think she only had two daughters in St. Croix that grew up in St. Croix, born and raised in St. Croix.
Mm-hmm.
But Frenchie, all of them live born in St. Vincent. So when Frenchie then came over, they moved in Lorraine. I just remember Frenchie running out the house one day, Mr. And he said, I guess you know, cable TV had just come in and plugging in the hooking them up for cable. Mr. Frenchie run out the house, son. He said, "Boy, Steven, are we gonna get one big cable? Hey, my son, I'm gonna tell you."
Oh, yes.
And from then, I start to pick up on every word he said with the letters BLE at the end. He put instead of the E, he put the O. Table, cable, like everything, my son. My son, we used to kill Frenchie, brother. Kill
Yes.
Frenchie.
Yes.
But that was so funny, my son.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. Oh, God.
Every word, Mumba, every word that got BLE to the end, they don't pronounce it. Table, cable, anything. They put an O at the end.
That's
Wow,
funny.
And that was my first interaction with a Vincentian. I think that's what they call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a Vincentian. That was my first interaction with a Vincentian. So I never heard that in my life.
Yeah. Now that
I,
you said that, I could recall like some conversations where, yep. Like my cousin, she's in St. Vincent. She's on. She actually just commented the other Porsche.
oh,
Yeah.
she the Anto?
Yeah. She's Greg Hutchinson is
I saw the Greg Hutchinson. I did see that
yeah.
all.
Yep, that's my cousin.
Mm.
So I was able to meet her when I went. She's a nurse and she's really sweetheart.
Yeah, definitely big up to your cuz.
Yeah.
Big up.
Whose name
So-
your mom stole.
I know.
Shami talk with me about all of that. So
My
20
auntie.
years. Go ahead.
No, I just noticed my aunt is on too. She's at the La Compton.
Oh yeah, she.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Hey, family.
So this is your family from St. Vincent, all of them from St.
My
Vincent.
family that's in St. Vincent. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, Vincentia and I confirm what I'm saying with the cable. Please come in. I was gonna ask Portia. So 20 years of what you're doing. Do I know you probably like it then? Do you still like it now? Do you love what you do?
I absolutely love it. And that's why I'm still there. And I was telling my boss, we had our annual review. And it's like, she asked a question like, what do you love most about your job? And, in just reflecting, it's just amazing that I could say that I love my job as much as I did the very first day that I started. Like I say that's my ministry. Because I truly feel like it's my ministry. So I get to work with, it's tough because it's mental health. So we have, especially the younger kids that come in with, the suicidal ideation. And, we got some kids that recently involved in drug trafficking, sex trafficking. So you have some really sad stories. So I work with kids as all the way to seniors. And especially now during, the pandemic and stuff, it's just a lot of depression, just more intense cases of people just struggling with just everything that's happening. So it's hard, but I know that that's where I'm supposed to be, so it's like just being able to get up every day and to love what I do and to have the opportunity to influence lives. And and it's a faith-based organization, so we could pray and I could pray with them and we talk about God and and we have devotion before our meetings, so things like that I really, really, really appreciate. And just the mission statement to deliver a ministry of physical, spiritual, just delivering God's care.
Mhm.
That's, I truly believe in the mission. And having that opportunity to just instill hope in people when they're at such a low point in their lives. And it's good. And I've been blessed with the gift of influence. I'm the type of person that no matter where I go, like people will just gravitate to me, like just people with different disabilities or whatever. And they'll pick me out of 100 people to come sit next to me and start talking. So things like that. That's confirmation for me that I'm where I need to be. I tried to leave one time. I had this one boss that just wasn't good, and it just stressed me out. That was the first time I was ever stressed. Like I would cry going to work. That's how bad it was. And I remember I went and I interviewed. It was the director of recreation for Gaithersburg. And, I interviewed, it got down to me and this other guy. And, I ended up not getting a job. And I remember just interviewing for other things, just anything I could have got. I was just gone. It was to that point where I was just physically sick going to work because of this boss that I had. And I remember just praying and just getting that confirmation, like it's not time for you to leave. So God just closed every door. Like I was not leaving. And about a month later, my boss got let go. She got fired because she was just not a good person. Just she would belittle people and just very elitist, and it just wasn't good. She was very toxic, and it caught up to her. It caught up to her. And so that would be the one experience, the one bad experience that I would say that I had working there. But other than that, it's just been a blessing. And then having also a trauma history, just being able to connect with some of the girls on that level as well. So it's a gift, and I love it. So until God opened another door, that's where I plan to stay, and I'm okay with that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
pretty
I got
cool.
one last question, and
Yeah,
then
go
you
ahead.
and Karen, I'm gonna leave the floor for you. Um, have you been following that story in women's basketball for the NCAA and how they treating the women, and like have you been following that story, and you have any thoughts on it?
No, I haven't. So bring me up to speed.
So basically, so the March Madness start, and they got the boys and the women. I think they're in the same bubble, right, Karen?
Two
They're in
different
a different
bubbles. So
bubble.
the men are in Indiana, and the women are in Texas, San Antonio.
Okay, but so they there was this one girl. She started this thing online where she started comparing. First, she started off with the weight room. So people from the men's division, the men's March Madness, they posting the weight room, how they're working out, they're doing their thing, and they have like a legit weight room.
Mm-hmm.
So she posted the video. This is the men's weight room. This is the women. One bar with like about 10 to 12 weights, different level of weights. That's it. That's their weight room.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the NCAA give the excuse that the reason why it was like that because it was space. They didn't have enough space. So she showed a video. So they said the reason was space. So this is our weight room. And all she did was just lift up her phone. She didn't even have to edit or cut or nothing. She just lift up her phone and just went around the room. And it's like a whole,
Let me see.
that's their weight room.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
that's the
Oh
men's.
wow.
And
Wow.
it basically started this thing now. She started comparing videos of the men showing how they're eating They look like they're getting one prepaid, pre-made. You know how people are meal prep?
Yeah.
That's how their meals look. Like it just basically the men's are just getting the red carpet roll out to them, and the women's getting whatever left over, basically. So if you were following, I just wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that, because I think that's a real tragic, like to the women's. It's like it's really like spitting on them,
Yeah.
It's bad enough that they don't go through what they go through with the WNBA, but we see it ain't far off. It trickling down to NCAA, and I'm glad that girl put a spotlight on it, whoever she is.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Good for her for highlighting that, because I wouldn't have expect that was the condition,
Right.
And,
That's true.
and I think that's what it takes. It just takes people speaking up and being like, no, we're not gonna tolerate this. And that's what's happening with everything. People finally, putting stuff out there like this is unacceptable. So good for her. I applaud her on that.
Did you experience any adversity just based off of your sexuality when you was in college or even in your current job?
Um, in college, in all honesty, what caught me off guard was the amount of females that approached me. Just direct, just straight up, like no sugarcoating. Like I would have notes in my locker, like just like it made me uncomfortable. And coming from St. Croix, and that was another part of the culture shock for me. And then two, though, I wish I had a picture, like I was still in that tomboy phase. So I think I was presenting that image as well. But to me, tomboy was just like acting like a boy. It didn't really mean that I like girls, but
Right.
I think that, and then just being an athlete, it was more so, I think just being an athlete too, that, that's more acceptable, or more expected. So
Right.
that made me uncomfortable, and I had to get to the place where I could kind of be able to verbalize that and be able to, because I've always been a people pleaser. I don't want to hurt people's feelings, and so just finding that assertiveness to be like, I am not interested, and like please stop.
Right.
So
coming
yeah,
from where coming from where we came from, it wasn't just that was like looked down upon.
yeah,
It
like
was we looked at it differently because
yep.
I had to make some major adjustment in how I interact with homosexuals and stuff like that. So because I remember when I first came to college, they wanted to room me with a guy, and I don't think I had the best reaction to it. I went downstairs and I told the RA, if I put me in a room with this man, he gonna go through the window because the first wrong look, I gonna I'm gonna mash up this man, myself. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how me and Frenchie end up being roommates.
Oh wow.
Um, but we just used to react, the wrong way to it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like at the end of the day, these are still human beings. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Regardless of how you may feel about their preference, you know what I'm saying? They're still human beings. So it was just that's definitely a culture shock because
Yeah,
we
it
didn't.
caught me. It definitely caught me off guard. But like, I mean, I loved my teammates. It didn't make me want to not interact with them or anything. It was just I just had to set that boundary, and I had to do it. I had to be assertive and say it.
That's
Um,
true. That's true.
So
I'm gonna piggyback real quick. I wanted to get Karen take on the whole disparity as far as how the men is being treated and the women is being treated, just because Karen works for Bradley University, and their women basketball team made the tournament. So I just wanted to hear from her perspective how their women athletes have responded to those allegations.
Yeah. So our athletes are managing it. They're taking it in stride, but it's just a testament to the inequity that exists, period. Like, this is a problem that the NCAA created. Like, this didn't have to be a problem. We didn't have to be having this conversation right now. It was some person who didn't think highly enough of the women athletes in Texas right now and gave them one rack of weights, and they had enough space. So they're coming up with excuses that don't make sense. I don't like to hear people losing their jobs, but this was a gross misstep. Like, how do you give the nation's best, like literally the best in the country, one rack of weights and, a couple of yoga mats and say, here, this is good enough. And like Pang was saying, they compared the food, and the men's teams have spreads laid out for them every day. They're able to order food, get delivery, do all this stuff. The women weren't able to do the same things, and they just had lesser quality food. So the fact that at our highest level, people still think so less of women is problematic. And it's Women's History Month. Like, pick any other month to do it. But, they're doing it in March and just showing that we still have a really long way to go to just be equitable, not even equal or fair.
Right. Well said, Karen.
Well said. Definitely well said. I want to go back, Persha, when you was talking about your occupation and dealing with mental health and all the amazing stuff you do, helping individuals and inspiring. What brought you to that aspect of your occupation, or did you always wanted to do that as a kid, or was it something else you wanted to be when you was a kid?
Yeah, I always knew that I wanted to be in healthcare. Like in Central, I was a candy striper, where it was home ec. It was, I can't remember what the exact class was, but I think it was like a nursing class where we would go to the nursing homes and stuff and be like the nursing assistants and stuff. So I knew that I wanted to be in some kind of helping profession. Initially, like I had mentioned before, I was looking at chemical dependency, drug and alcohol rehabilitation programs because of the connection I had with my dad. And I did my undergrad, my internship at a drug and alcohol rehab facility. And I still like that. And I get to work with some of them at the hospital too, that I'm at. So yeah, I knew that I wanted to be in healthcare. I picked physical therapy because, sports and all that stuff. But like I said, when I got to school, the program had stopped. So really, I think therapeutic recreation just picked me because it was almost like a eeny, meeny, miny, mouse. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. And it just ended up being a really, really good decision. And I knew like I could try it. And if I needed to switch majors or whatever, once I figured it out, I could. So I tried not to put too much pressure on myself that first year trying to get it right. But I got it right the first time. Like that was a perfect match. Just I'm a creative person to begin with. So just being able to use the process of creation as therapy to help people heal and to be able to express themselves in a creative way and work on their problem areas. It's just cool, man. I love it.
With us, outside now working with those type of people and being in those type of situations, we probably really don't understand what those individuals go through. And you mentioned the connection it had with your dad with alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
Did that kind of help you understand more what your dad was going through, being able to witness some of the individuals you was working with?
Yeah, it gives you a better appreciation, and it allows a development of that empathy, right? Because you just look at people and be like, they just need to stop. Like, why they can't just stop?
Right.
But it's a disease. That's addiction is a disease, and it's one of those things where people are just they're tied down, and they don't have and part of it too, when you use recreation therapy in a rehab, in a drug and alcohol rehabilitation area is more so helping them to adapt healthy leisure choices as opposed to the drug and alcohol. So creating experiences and helping them relearn, helping them have that experience again. Um, so that's more of the rehabilitative aspect of it, but also digging deeper to some of the more addictive behaviors and some of the triggers and the underlying causes that might stem from attachment disorders, different things that happen, the childhood trauma. There's many different things that drive people to choose a substance to self-soothe, so just trying to get to that root. Is it a self-soothing, as a situation of self-soothe? Then can we identify some more healthy behaviors that could provide that same level, or at least a healthier level of comfort and soothing and benefit in that sense. So it's cool. It takes some work sometimes to just get down to what the real issue is. But you have a treatment team of doctors, of psychiatrists, just everybody just working together on whatever that issue is and using their modality to just come at it from different ways. So it's really interesting when you can see that somebody really gain the skills and they could discharge. So many of the kids, we had a residential program, and like I see some of the kids, sometimes I run into them, and you see them doing good, and sometimes I hear from them and they're like, Miss P, like you were always there for me. And you should just hear their story and to hear them tell you how you impacted them. Like back then, they were cussing the heck out of you, but then you planted that seed, and then you saw like they were listening. They did take some of what was happening, and it's like the best feeling to just see that.
I was definitely thinking the same thing. That have to be definitely a great feeling just to see that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. You know,
Uh, Portia, I
Yes.
sorry to say this, but I have to take off. I just have a little crisis going on over here but I am so glad I got a chance to sit down and go down memory lane with you for a little bit, and glad to see you still here. Love to hear all the amazing stuff that you are doing, and continue to do all the amazing stuff. Your kids, like you just gave the example, are gonna love and appreciate you for it, in yours included. And again, you're still as beautiful as when we were in Central, and just keep doing your thing. And to Mumba, Karen, y'all take it easy. See how you Mumba, we got show Wednesday.
yeah, Wednesday. Yeah,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
See you how you Wednesday. And Portia, you have a good night. Stay blessed. Love you. And I take it easy.
Oh,
All
love you
right,
too,
Pug
You
man.
too.
Troy.
Love you too,
Take
Thank
brother.
you for
care.
being with us. I hope everything is okay.
Yeah, let us know if you need anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will. I will. Give
All right.
thanks.
All
All right.
right.
No
Take it
problem.
easy.
Night.
All right, brother.
Two.
So, Persha, have you seen the effects with those patients? The patient's family. Have you seen the effects or the toll they have taken upon them? Just seeing their loved ones or son or daughter, etc., go through what they go through.
Yeah. I mean, you have some families that they just completely don't understand just mental illness. They believe they fake, and they believe they could beat it out of them. They believe they could pray it out of them. It's so many different levels of support and non-support when it comes to families. And then you have the families where you have patients that unfortunately they get aggressive. Like we have this one mom, like her son, he just had a lot of different just stuff, and he was on the spectrum as well. And he was just very aggressive. Like he couldn't verbalize, so he would just beat her like this big dude. Like he would just beat the poor mom, and she's just scared. And um, and here it is, like we just witnessed that, and then it's like, okay, you need to go in there and do therapy with him, right? And it's like, okay, and you just find a way to connect with them. So yeah, it's a toll on a family, especially when you have those frequent flyers that just keep coming back and just keep coming back. And you could just see it on the parents' faces, like they just don't know how to manage, or they don't have the tools. So that's why the family therapy is even more so important, because they need to have that support, as well as the options of what to do in certain situations. When you're dealing with the bipolar patient, they go from manic to depressive, and in that manic state, it could be excited, happy manic. It could be a crazy, I feel like I could jump off of this 12-story building and fly, like literally. And so it's just, how do you go from that as a parent or as a family member, just watching a loved one just flip flop, so it's hard. So that's why it's just really important, as the clinician, to be able to empathize with families, and to just create that familial support for them, and provide them the resources that they need.
Yeah, it's sorry.
It's okay.
So it this is kind of is weird because my brother, he suffers from, he's been diagnosed with schizophrenic, bipolar, and
Hmm.
psychosis. So I've
Oh
seen,
wow.
so I've seen it, and everything you're talking about, like how family don't understand and stuff like that. I even had to go through that myself.
Hmm.
Just being able to just sit back and reflect and realize, like, this is a disease that they just don't understand, etc., etc. So
Yeah.
so I know what my mom go through with him, and I know what I've witnessed, and I definitely commend you on what you do, and all the workers that's in your field as well too, because a lot of people don't understand mental illness and how it affects the individual, and also how it could destroy families or affect families in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And people really won't understand unless you know someone that suffers from it, and then that's when you have more appreciation for workers like yourself and what you guys do.
Yeah.
So I definitely commend you, and respect and appreciate what you do for all the individuals that you have worked with over the years.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think the biggest
absolutely.
thing with that is we just have to work hard at just removing that stigma, like the same way how we go, for our physicals, we go to the doctor to get our checkups for our physical health. The same thing, we have to take care of mental health, and it's okay to not feel mentally healthy, and to be able to say that, and to be able to get the help you need without being stigmatized, or denormalized. So we come a long way in terms of just being more open, people just being more open about it. But we still have a lot to do in terms of just removing those barriers, and just shifting the perspective around that.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So, with all the clients and their situations that you deal with, how do you maintain your own mental health?
Self-care, right?
Right.
That's the number one thing that we preach at work. And that's another reason why I really love where I work, because that's really encouraged, and they have a lot of different programs, and employee relation programs, the EAP, and the employee wellness program, different things, to kind of help be that support for staff. But for me, we don't have volleyball right now because of COVID, but I just try to stay active. I miss the gym. I love working out. I don't do so good working out at home. I'm the type of person that I have to be like in the gym to really feel like I'm doing something, you know.
Right.
Um, so doing that, I haven't done too much of it recently, but I make jewelry. So that was something that I started when I got diagnosed with lupus.
Oh, nice.
I when I was out for that whole year, I think I was in a store and I saw this jewelry making book and I picked it, I got it, and I just fell in love with it. I was good at it, and it was just so satisfying, and so that became therapy for me too. Um, I ended up starting a jewelry business, but I haven't done much with it, so I need to find a way to just get back doing that stuff. In church, I am involved in ministry at church, and that's kind of my thing right now. I lead the health and wellness ministry. So just being able to help again, just helping people to be able to just take care of themselves and to just live a good life and take care of your body, take care of your temple. So being able to help the congregation in that sense to just be more healthy, mind, body, spirit. And then the kids keep me busy. Um, we do different things in terms of just playing. Like Emmanuel, just I love that baseball started because we could go out and throw and hit to him, and I like kind of being the mommy coach. You kind of have to walk a thin line with that because they think you don't know what you're talking about.
That's
Right.
true.
So I could say the same thing that somebody has said, and he'd be like, "Oh," I'd be like, "That's exactly what I've been telling you the whole time." So I'm still
And
trying to find a way to kind of do it where he will actually like take it seriously. Um, but yeah, just that. So most of my time right now is just in ministry and just being involved in the different things that we're doing in church and the recreation ministry and the youth ministry and stuff like that.
yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful. As a former athlete, how during the games your son is playing in baseball, how do you feel? Like, are you one of those moms where that competitiveness come out, or you're more reserved, trying to keep calm and you know?
Well, yeah, I try to keep calm. Like most of the time, I just it's really hard. It's really hard because I'm like on Saturday I practice. He all the other kids hustling and he just walking slow. Like I'm like I just want to go shake it. Like, dude, the coach said hustle up. You hustle up. And, it's just this, and part of it is the boy just don't know how good he is. Like right now, it's still just this whatever thing. He's not in a phase yet where it's like yeah, like if I really really buckle down, like this could be my ticket. So trying to, and even when I was talking to the coach, because it's a new team, he was the coach was asking him like, so have you played before? I just trying to stand aside, let him talk, because he need to work on his social skills. But I wanted the coach to know he'd a pitch, he'd a play to a base, he'd a play. I want the coach to know like, he could do everything. And I already coached my son in the car. I was like, when the coach asks you what position you play, you need to confidently say you're a pitcher. You could play. I done coach. Went through the whole speech.
Nice.
The coach asked him, "So what do you play?" I don't know. I wanted to go over there and choke that boy.
I know you feel, yeah.
So I just couldn't help. So the coach happened to come over. I was like, "So did Emmanuel tell you, just trying to be cool with it?" I was like, "So did he tell you like he played with Coach Mays because Coach Mays, the team he played with before, his son played, the coach's son plays on now." So he was like, "Oh, he played with Coach Mays. So this is all good information my son needs to be telling the coach, right?" So he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he played with Coach Mays." I'm like, yeah, he played, he pitched. He played there, and I went through the whole speech. I said he played all-star. He played, I'm going through it. So then the coach was like, "Does he just want to play for fun?" And that was my sign, like okay, I need to just shut up, because like he all about okay, we're going hard. So
Okay, yeah, yeah.
this coach, he a little soft, like we just trying to have fun kind of thing. I have a problem with them kind of teams, but he been off for a whole year, so it might not be a bad idea for him to just kind of ease into it
Right.
with his team, and we see that. So I try to kind of just be cool with it because he don't get embarrassed really quick. Like, mom. So I keep the books. I keep the books, and that kind of keeps me busy.
Ah, nice. Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah.
that's
That's
awesome.
cool.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, I think once it clicked and everything comes together, is sky's the limit for you say his name is Emmanuel, right?
Emmanuel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely gonna sky's the limit for Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always like to ask, farmer athletes who became parents, like how they handle everything. I always want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
It's hard. Like, yeah. But I'm getting better.
That's good. That's good. At least you admit your mistakes. That's the most important thing as a parent.
Yeah.
And you got to pull yourself back and check yourself. And
I
realize
know.
it.
I want to
So
brag, but coach is pretty much like, okay, that's cool and everything.
But at least he knows. At least he knows now.
Yeah, he knows now. So we'll see.
being a former athlete, do you keep up with any type of sports on TV, women's basketball? Sometimes they have the college volleyball show on ESPN, or the softball. Do you watch any type of sports?
Yeah, off and on. I'm weird with that. Like I'm the type that like I was never the type that like to watch. Like I just wanted to play. So I never really had like a team I following or a certain player that it's just like I just want to play. But every once in a while I'll watch volleyball. Janae daughter, I love to watch the kids. So we'll catch some of their tournaments either streaming or sometimes we go some of the local schools, like we've been to a few of our games. So sometimes when some of the tournaments here we'll go, like the VIP team will go on stuff. But I'm not the type like, okay, the game on, like everybody shut up. Like that's not me.
That's
But
true.
but I'll catch bits and pieces here and there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So we coming on to the final stretch, towards the end and stuff. So I'm gonna be asking some random questions here and there. Just for your, I can't, some of them might be brain busters or something, or some might be easy to answer. So just prepare for that as well too. And you said your daughter dances, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and she enjoys dancing.
Yes, she loves it. That's like she dancing and gymnastics. So I mean, she's the type we cross in the street. She twirling. She just every movement is a dance movement, and she's one of them that every time she does something, mommy look, mommy did you see that? And it's like, okay, Zoe, okay, So, but that's her thing. So when things cool down, she does the dance ministry now at church. But when things settle down with COVID and stuff, I definitely have to find a good dance program for her because that's her language right there. Yeah.
Nice.
And she, like trying to see about the sports that we were talking the other day, because she's so softy. She really softy, and that's how I was. That's how I was when I was younger. So I see so much of her in me, and I'm like, I think something happened, and she hurt herself, and I was trying to do like the tough thing, like you gotta be tough. Come on, so you gotta shake that. And I guess it hurt really bad, and I wasn't being compassionate. I was trying to.
Yeah.
That tough thing, she ain't ready for that yet. She ain't ready for it. So I'm like, oh, I don't know about sports. So, I'm like, Zoe, so you want to play some sports? Because even we were playing around at my son's practice on Saturday, and she was hitting the ball good. And they have a little team for the girls, our softball team. So I'm like, man, Zoe, like she was hitting the ball really good. So I I was like, Zoe, I'm gonna sign you up. No. So as soon as you suggest it, no, No, I'd be like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about the sports. So,
you might have
but
to.
she sounds, she's like, I play volleyball, but even with that, it's like everything the hut. So,
Oh,
Gymnastics is pretty cool though.
yeah.
Up and coming sport, especially on the West Coast, and we have some gymnasts of color who are changing
Yep.
the sport. So maybe a future for her there.
Yeah, and she really like that. Even she will pull up the YouTube videos and she will watch, and
oh,
so
that's nice.
she's really gravitated to gymnastics and dance. So you just gotta work on just the timidness a little bit, but
Yeah,
once you get out there, I think she'll be all right.
yeah, that's true. I was gonna
Nice.
say you might have to do a little maneuver and send a coach and be like, "Oh, you're awesome. You should try out for softball and see if she,
Something,
see if she take the beat."
but even like we was when we before COVID, we were doing the gymnastics, and the coach came over talking to me. They wanted to put her on the competition team.
Wow.
So I was like just thinking, wondering how I would tell her. She started panicking. Oh, mom, what do I have to do? But just hysterical. I'm like, I don't know. But it was such a big time commitment anyway. I couldn't do it because I think they were practicing like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm at work, so like and that's the thing with these travel teams and stuff. The time commitment and like as a single parent is like and working full time. That's kind of tough because I would love to put my son on a travel team, even.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Um,
Yeah,
but that's a lot. So, but
yeah,
we'll
it's
figure
that's the
it out.
thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to share this story when you was talking about you trying to do the mommy thing about being tough.
Hmm.
I had that same situation with my son. He had first started playing basketball, and I want to say he was like 10 or 11 years old, and he messed up his finger. And I was like, man, Sonny, come on, man, you got to come on, you got to keep playing, you got to toughen it out. And man, after come to find out his he had break his pinky. It
Oh
was broken.
no.
Talk about how I felt.
Felt
I felt like the
horrible.
most human being on earth for like a week.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I felt so bad.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
so he teach me a lesson where now it's like, okay, you hot, proceed with caution,
Yeah.
make sure, and then see if I want to, you gotta be tough. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's it's tricky as a parent.
Yeah.
So is there I had a question. I had a question. I forgot it. I just had it. But is there anything that you wanted to touch on that we haven't, or anything like that you felt like it was important to share with the viewers that's watching your episode?
Um, I think we covered. We should ask Janae and Charmaine.
All right. So
You definitely have to go back and read the comments. So they were in. Christine was in there too. She was trash talking about when y'all played against each other in softball in college.
Oh, she
It's a
was.
little fight. Yeah, there's a little fight going on there. So definitely go back through the comments and catch up and defend yourself.
Oh Lord. Yeah. I think we covered it like school, New York. Um, did a little bit of modeling. My daughter does that too. She's with an agency here, so
Oh, nice.
it's interesting because whenever she has auditions, I'll go with her, and then I end up booking stuff because they might need an adult or something. So it was pretty cool. I shot a commercial. I don't know if it's a commercial or Janae, be quiet. That was a commercial. I don't know what it is, but I did a shoot for Apple middle
Nice.
of last year. But I don't know where it is. It was one of those like closed lip thing. I had to sign all kind of releases. So you might see me somewhere on an Apple commercial or Apple billboard. I don't know, but it was really cool. That was like my first biggest job that I booked.
Oh, nice.
So that's something that I would like
That's pretty
to
cool.
get back into a little bit more. I playing with the idea of fitness modeling. When I did it in college and stuff, I kind of got turned off because it was all about sex and taking your clothes off, and and all the photographers just want you half naked and stuff, and that kind of turned me off. But that's something I think I would like to get back into. The more I go with my daughter on her auditions and stuff, I'm like, yeah, this would be cool to get back into. So yeah, so that's something else that I do. Talked about my jewelry business, but like I said, I have a few things on the site, but I haven't updated it in a while. So that's something I plan to get back into. It's just a matter of managing the time, and COVID hit, and then the whole at home learning stuff and just balancing all of that. What did Erin put? Lupus walks. Yeah, I think we talked about the lupus stuff. Like I do the lupus ambassador stuff. So
Yeah.
um,
I have a question pertaining to the lupus too. I wanted to ask you that I forgot earlier. I'll get to it. We're gonna get to the sweet and sour sauce too. By the way, that's
Yeah,
towards
you gotta
we
explain
get
that.
the
Yeah.
random questions. And Andre Titus Jr. Shout out, big up to Andre. Did you play on this VI Sabah team with Rose, Aisha, Seville, and Pauline in Normal, Illinois?
not Illinois, no, but I did play with these guys in high school.
Cool.
Did you play with did you guys play on the same Sabah team as well when they had the leagues down in West and East?
I did, I didn't join those leagues.
Okay.
Yeah, I
was
I played in the outside league in volleyball. I was just heavy volleyball. Like the rest of the basketball, softball, I just did in school. I did like some open league basketball a little bit. Did some intramural stuff in grad school. But with grad school, it was just in and out. I did not like graduate school. I did not like Indiana at all. I know that's where Tony in Indianapolis is cool. Bloomington, Indiana. Hope I don't upset anybody, but that stretched me. My graduate school experience. It was hard. So can you imagine going from down south at HBCU, South Carolina, and then to Bloomington, Indiana, in the Midwest? Oh my gosh. So it was me and another girl that left from Benedict. We got a scholarship and we went. It was a top 10 in my program, so it was like a no-brainer, right? And I got a minority scholarship. But we were like the only two Black ones in the class. Just the culture, the weather was horrible. And then just going from, how loving and welcoming like people down south is, and then get to the Midwest, and it was just different. Like I didn't like it. I was miserable. Like I almost a few times I contemplated just quitting. The work was hard. Like, and I'm coming from Benedict, my 4.0, thinking like I'm all that. And then I get to graduate school and I get my papers back, a bunch of red on it, and it's wrong. And like that thing, that really stretched me. That was an experience that just, I'm thankful for it. I'm grateful for it. I'm glad I stuck it out. But yes, that statistics class was, that was a thorn in my side. Like, I don't like math, period. I'm not good at it. And I remember just feeling so just defeated in that class. And I couldn't grasp it. Like, I'm the type of person when it comes to math, I need it presented in a different way. I need to go over. I can't do math in my head. Like, I have to write it out, and I can't, like, I never could, and I don't know what that's about. But just in class, like everybody would be shouting out the answer, and then he will call me, and I just needed time to think. Like I just needed to like write it out, and like I was just like struggling. And then I remember one day he met with me, and I just told him, I was like, I'm just not understanding. Like this is just going too fast for me. And like I remember he was so nice. He ended up tutoring me. And I remember going to his house with his wife, and he just spent that extra time just breaking things down for me. and that helped, man. And so I'm glad, like, I was humble enough to just say, like, I'm just not getting it, like, and
Yeah.
so that was really hard. I didn't like Indiana at all. I just didn't like it. It was like, so my focus was just get in and get out. And then my friend that went with me, she finished before me, so I was there. Then I ended up being there by myself, and I remember just being in the apartment crying. Like, it was like
Wow.
so sad. I was so lonely. Didn't have much friends because it wasn't about friends. This was, grad school is different. Like, it ain't about hanging out, party, and you just go get it done. So the good thing is I did my master's degree in the same program that I did my bachelor, so I didn't have to stay for too long. So I knocked it out in like a year and a half. I pick up class during the summer. Like, I took extra so that I could be done. And like, oh, it was like the best thing ever just to get out to Indiana. I'm sorry. I mean, the school was beautiful. Campus, Indiana University, beautiful. Went to, basketball games, a few games and stuff, had,
Nice.
side seats.
Nice.
That was cool. Even had a Chick-fil-A in my dorm. Like, that's
Oh, wow.
that's how I got turned on to Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
That's fancy.
Yep.
Man.
My dorm. So those were the few things I appreciated about it. And then I had a really good minority advisor, Mr. Kincannon. He was like a dad to me and my friend, and he kind of took us under his wings. But other than that, that was a really tough experience, but it was good for me. It was good. I'm glad that I got both perspectives, HBCU and, a top 10 school. If I had to do again, I don't know if I would go to Indiana, but I did. I did it. Did it.
Right.
And
You did it. At least, yeah,
mhm.
Yeah, and I know what that Midwest life is like. I live in Illinois right now, so
Ooh.
I understand completely.
Yeah. And I spent 2 years in Iowa, so we all.
Yeah, we know. We all
So
know.
we all. Yeah. So I definitely know what you went through. So.
Yeah, it was tough.
Question I wanted to ask you earlier, with the COVID happening last year, and your dealings with lupus, how was the mindset? Did you have any type of worries, any type of fear? Did you took extra precaution? You made sure you stayed extra safe. What were some of the steps you took?
Well, was definitely scared. I think the biggest thing that brought the discomfort was just how little we knew about it in the beginning, especially for people who are in the high risk category like myself. So I think the beginning stages was hardest. Like, and two, I wasn't one of those people that could work from home. I had to keep going to work at the hospital. And at the hospital, we have the behavioral health side, and then we have the medical side where the COVID patients are coming. And my staff are working with these patients as well. So just being on the front lines, it was scary, but it's one of those things where the fear didn't last for too long. It's like, we're all in this thing together. Like, my team, my staff, they just rose to the occasion. The organization just responded and prepared so well. We were like one of the top hospitals that I don't think we had any layoffs. From the beginning, they assured us that, they're going to try to sustain everybody's job, even if it means, moving people around, cross-training people. So just having the support from the organization in itself, and them doing everything they needed to do to get the proper PPEs. Because even in the beginning with that, it was like, okay, who could get an N95 mask? Who can't? So it was just figuring out all of that stuff, and just trying to remember to just extend grace to the people that's making the decisions, because everything is new, and is developing as we go. So, the precautions changed a lot. 1 minute we're in this mask, the next minute we're in that mask, or, 1 minute you can do this or you can't do that. So even today, the precautions change again, So,
That's true.
so like, yeah, so several of my staff were exposed several times, and then, this is my staff that I'm interacting with too. So, one thing that did change in terms of my responsibilities is because I'm one of those hands-on managers. I still wanted to be involved in the clinical aspect in terms of still being able to do sessions with the patients and stuff. So um, during this time, I'm not having any patient interaction. So I'm not providing any services or going, like, I'll run in and run out on a unit if I need to, like, drop off something or something. But in terms of just doing therapy with the patients, I've gotten approval to kind of just refrain from that. But my staff, they're still doing sessions and groups and stuff, and so just my biggest thing was just making sure I advocated for my team, and they had what they needed and whatever they needed that I needed to do to make them feel more secure. Whatever questions we needed answered, just doing more team building stuff and just encouraging them more, and just writing them notes and just really praising them for just being troopers, man, just having a good attitude about everything, um, in spite of being afraid. And, because they're coming back and going back home to their parents and their kids. And, so all of us just having to change our process of, when we get home, you want to hug your kids, but it's like, no, let me take my clothes off at the door. I remember at one point, before the Lysol was limited, like just taking my clothes off and just spraying it down with a Lysol first, just to double check, before putting it, and then just going straight. So that's one thing that I've adapted. As soon as I come home, just go straight to the undress, go straight to the shower before I do anything with the kids. So stuff like that, and then just making sure that if I'm feeling any kind of symptoms, to self-monitor as well, and making sure, if I'm sick, stay at home. And if, my team is sick, just trying to follow, everything to the T, but keep a good attitude about it. And remember that, this is something new that everybody's experiencing all at the same time. And as scary as it is, like, we're here on the front lines, like, just being able to help these people in this, like, crazy time. So it's a good and it's a bad to it, like they need us right now. And my team, especially during this pandemic, has really been in the spotlight in terms of just bringing out the expressiveness of helping people to really verbalize and express, what they're going through and what they're feeling, and just having that therapeutic outlet for them. Everything's shut down. So, us being able to bring the creative means and that creative piece to helping people to work through just all this pandemic stuff on top of all the other illnesses they're dealing with. We've gotten a lot of praise, and a lot of people have gotten the opportunity to really see what expressive therapy is about, and, just how movement therapy works. How does music therapy work? How does art therapy work? And so it's pretty cool. So fear, yes, but just rising to the occasion again, that competitive thing, like, we're going to go out here and we're going to do the best we can. And we sign up for this job, and this is it, like, we have to be there and hold it together and be able to help these patients. Yeah. So, and then too, just being grateful that we had a job, like so many people lost their jobs. And so just, we had a job where we were needed, and we were providing a very necessary service.
That's true. Man,
Yeah.
that was well said, well explained, everything. So
Thank you.
yeah, so Dr. Phil, Oprah. No, it's not like I joking, but I serious. Like, they need to get you on. J TV One.
Make it happen.
She knocking it on the ballpark tonight. So just make something happen. So So we're going to we coming towards the end. We'll start off with the sweet and sour sauce. I haven't forgotten, So
Just trying to keep talking so you can forget.
That's not how it works.
So your love for sweet and sour sauce, I mean, you could kind of touch it. It's how it came about. Is it because of the Chick-fil-A in near the college?
Yeah, just tell us.
Jeanette tells that story much better because for some reason she have a way better recollection than me. But just for the record, Polynesian sauce is my favorite now, Jeanette. So I don't care for sweet and sour anymore.
Polynesian sauce is good. That's a good one.
Yes, Polynesian.
Yeah.
It was just this funny thing that Jeanette would not let me forget. It was one day at Central, I think we were skipping class or something. The hole in the fence that everybody used to go through. And we were going to McDonald's. We went to McDonald's because McDonald's was down the street. And I just always needed sweet and sour sauce on anything I ate from McDonald's. I needed, is that bogus? Hey, bogus?
Yeah, bogus, yeah.
So, yeah, I needed to have sweet and sour sauce and everything with my French fries or my chicken sandwich, especially on my chicken sandwich, right? They just didn't understand I needed the sweet and sour sauce on my chicken sandwich. So we order and I request the sweet and sour sauce and the lady tell me I can't have no sweet and sour sauce because I didn't order chicken nuggets. And I cry.
Wow. That's serious. That's some serious
Yeah,
love.
that is.
Yeah.
And I cried, and Janae had never let me forget in that day.
Wow.
But like my feelings was really hurt. Like I just couldn't eat it with it. It's just something that if it just ain't right, it's just like I went Chick-fil-A last week and I added the market salad and they give me the wrong dressing. And I love that salad. But I just couldn't, like, it ruined my night because they didn't give me the apple vinaigrette. They gave me Italian light. And, like, I was just, like, I feel like I want to cry again. Like, my son was like, what's wrong, Mom? I said, give me the wrong dressing. So stuff like that, I don't know why it's such a trigger for me. And as I'm talking about it, I'm realizing like something I need to dig deeper and see what that's all about.
No, man.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny. That's a uniqueness of a human being. Our love for the different things. Yeah.
Have to have it the way.
Try the market salad with their ranch. It's weird, but it's really good.
With
Just
their
try it.
ranch?
Yeah, try it. I would have thought that ranch on fruits would have been weird, but it's really good. Just try it. And if you don't like it, blame me.
I don't know, Carrie. I don't know. Well, you see Jenny comment. She was, yeah, I kept begging. And I did. I kept begging and I kept asking, please, please. And I was used to using my baby face to get anything I wanted. And it just didn't work with this lady. Like, she was like, no, like, you're not getting, and I just couldn't believe that I couldn't get my
That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny. You might want to ask her. I mean, she might make a call. Like, hey, my sister gave me trouble when I was young, so no, this is my feedback.
Oh, that's funny.
I love Charmaine. I love. Andre asked this question earlier, and I apologize, Andre. I forgot about it, and he asked, do you plan to get your doctorate degree?
My doctorate? I've been playing with that thought in the back of my head. Because even now, after being at the hospital for 20 years, I've been reflecting like, okay, P, like what's next? Like I said, I'm good where I'm at, but still reassessing, like, am I good because I'm just comfortable? Is it a good comfortable, a lazy good? Or is it a good, like, this is where you need to be, ain't nothing wrong with it, don't mess with it kind of thing? And I think it's the latter, is working, is still good, is still exciting. I'm still making an impact. So why change it, right? But, I'm 42 and So I've been thinking, like, what's next? What do I want to do? And I don't know. It'll be good to have those letters behind my name,
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that there's anything in terms of needing a doctorate that I want to pursue in that sense. It would just be just really to say, yeah, for more money too. And then to say, like, I have my doctorate and to have Dr. Gregg.
People call you doctor. That's
Yeah.
why I'm doing mine. Started
Yeah.
in January.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Miss Bryson, Dr. Gregg, Dr. Persha Gregg would say.
Hey,
So
I
who knows?
agree.
I'm not saying no, but it's not a big drive of mine right now. I am thinking though about adding another counseling degree to where maybe I'll get into private practice. So maybe my LCPC. Because I've thought, okay, after this, I don't necessarily see myself wanting to go work for somebody else at another facility, another hospital.
Right.
I love where I'm at. So if I do leave, it will be me going into private practice. So perhaps I'm thinking about that one. I mentioned it to my supervisor that that may be my next step in terms of getting that. They do tuition reimbursement at my job and everything, so that would be cool to take advantage of.
Oh, that would be
Do it.
That would be
School's
cool.
expensive at this point, so get somebody else to pay for it.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that might be my next move in terms of like career type thing.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I said, Persha, no, this is the time. We,
Questions.
we got to get you.
Right. Yeah.
So,
All right.
so the first one is since you are you earlier tonight this evening you agreed that you will chant. So what?
Oh,
Sound you gonna- I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. So 3 to 5 things that makes you happy.
oh, coconut water.
Nice. Nice.
The beach, and some sun. I'll put those two together, and just helping people. Like
Nice.
I really, of course, my family, but those are like typical answers. But like I really get gratification from helping people. Like it's so many times when at the end of the day I work, or I sit in the car and it's like it just smile, like you just feel like you really made an impact and you made a difference, and or just people in general. When somebody have a need, and I could meet that need for them, financial or any way, it just feels it's so gratifying to just help people. So yeah, that's my
That's
3.
awesome. That's awesome.
Mhm.
So I had this question written out from the beginning when you was talking about school, and you answered part of it. The question was your favorite and least favorite subjects in school. You mentioned math. You hate math, so
Yeah.
you answered that part already. So what was your favorite subject in
My
school?
favorite subject was English. Like I really I like to write. I like to play with words, and that's another outlet that I journal. But I like when my son he had a paper to write over the weekend, and I get on him like you need to do it yourself and don't come ask me for no help. But I like helping him too. Yeah, I just like putting words together and just coming up with like just making it sound good, and like I used to do poetry and stuff, and so yeah, I really liked English.
I've found that people who are good with words are bad with numbers because I'm the same way. Don't give me no math. I can do some things, but I can do just enough to get by. But I can write anybody under the bus. So yeah, it's a thing. It has to do with which sides of your brain control the So science,
Okay.
science
So
and math.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm so good at math, and I'm terrible in English and
Yeah,
so that's
different side of your brain
that makes
control
sense.
the math and the science parts.
Makes sense.
Yes, Karen, you are totally right.
3 to 5 places you would like to visit.
I want to go to Africa. excuse me, I want to do the motherland experience. I want to do the Santori. What the
Santorini. in Greece?
Santorini? Yeah, it's just you been there?
No, I haven't yet, but I want to go.
It's beautiful. Like I've, quite a few people have been and love it. And then really just someplace where a pretty beach. Like I will go to the beach all day. I would take beach all day. So I'm not picky with that. As long as it's warm and I can swim, I'm good.
Well, Carrie Ann's a lawyer, so of course she'd be good at both.
Carrie Ann, yeah, so her comment. Good for you, Carrie Ann.
Right.
5 words that describe you.
5, wow. Usually they say 3. Okay. So creative, loyal. Like I'm that type of person. Sometimes loyal to a default, but like if I say I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there. If I say I'm gonna do it. If I put my name to it, like I'm gonna commit. Just my job being an example. Like I'm just loyal. I am, you might not believe it, but I'm very introverted. I'm introverted with extroverted tendencies. Like, when it comes to something I'm really good at or the competitive side, that's when I'll get a little more extroverted. But I've always been kind of like the shy introverted type. What else? I'm competitive. Very competitive.
Big up bogus.
When it comes to stuff, like I get very competitive. And then I would say that I am very sensitive. And that's why I was talking about my daughter. And I see so much of her, like, I used to be, I'm still like it, like, but when I was little, if you talk to me too hard, I would cry. Like,
Wow.
yeah. Hey, my pastor says she's giving. Hey, Pastor P, that's my pops.
Big up, Pastor P. Big up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm giving. Yeah. So that's your 5.
Okay. You saw like you relieved to get that 5. Like, oh,
Was it 5? Did I give you 5?
That's why.
it was
Okay.
5. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I go with math. I can't do it in my head. I needed to be like this.
So, okay, I got 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
Actor to play you in a movie. To play if your life was a movie, which actor you would choose to play you in a movie?
You know who I really like? I like Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, look alike. Kind of, yeah, resemble each other.
And
That would be appropriate.
I think she is, I guess when it comes to that edginess that she just got to have a side of that vicariously, like I just want to live through, but just her confidence and she's beautiful and just so talented. So yeah.
Carrie Ann says Chili from TLC.
Ah,
That's true.
Yeah, I can see it.
Both of them actually, yeah. Both, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So final question. You're doing great. You're surviving.
Almost at the 3-hour mark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he started off and like we could see about that hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah. I know. I take the blame on that one.
No, that's okay. I don't know
We're
what
having fun.
I don't know what he's doing downstairs, but I'll find out.
They're probably happy. They was like, oh, thank God,
I
we
heard
could
I
just
was
wreck the place now.
knocking on the door earlier, but we'll see.
So the final one is 5 dinner guests, dead or alive.
5 then I guess. Sheesh. My dad, because there's a lot of I just didn't get that daddy daughter experience that I wish I had. Um, 5 is gonna be a lot.
I'll go with 3. I'll give you 3. If you get like
um,
3 to 5. So you just in case some come along when you start naming
Right.
them, so
and I know afterwards it will be like, oh, I should have said it. It's just really like it will be family, like my grandparents. Like I never met them, I never knew them.
yeah.
Um, just wanted to know what they were like. Um, yeah, so that's your tree. Sorry.
No. I appreciate that. And it's funny. I always think about that myself too. I always think about my grandparents and great great grandparents. I just wonder how they look, how they was, etc. So that always crosses my mind like almost every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, you did great with the questions. So definitely. So is there? I mean, we pretty much gonna wrap it up in a couple minutes. Is there anything? Yeah, not anything. Is there anyone you want to shout out? Any family members, friends? I know your sister wasn't here, your friends wasn't here, your pastor wasn't here. I
Yeah.
think your
I have
your
the whole
sister,
crew, right?
yeah, your whole
Right.
family. So, is there any other shout outs you want to make?
Yeah, I saw Erin on there, of course my girl Janae. I saw a few as they popped up, but I was trying to focus and pay attention. So, but yeah, mostly like everybody was on here, like that I invited and that I was glad to have on. So just shout out to the whole BI crew. The East is the best.
We're not here to fight.
That's true. For tonight, we'll do for tonight. Yeah. Miss Dr. Bryson asked a question, and she doesn't remember of another question. But top 5 basketball players you have played with.
What's with the number 5 today? I need to go play the lottery and put some points. Top 5. I had fun playing with Felicia James, Sandy DeLise. I had this one, Jackie Kershaw in college. That girl was a beast. She played 3 sports like me too, and she was just beast mode in every single one. Who else? Pang. So yeah, I learned my handles. I learned a lot of my handles from Pang. And you know what? I didn't talk about this, but Bogus and I used to play a lot of basketball together. And I don't know if we were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, but we had a little something going on. And like he actually taught me a lot too.
Nice.
But yeah, I mainly remember just my time on the court with the boys, just getting knocked down and just learning to be tough, just playing with them. I'm grateful for that because that kind of pushed me to step out and to just work harder and to be able to get myself through school and be really good at something. It just feels good and to have the trophies and the newspaper clippings and stuff to show my kids. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Man, Persha, I definitely appreciate you coming on. This was amazing. We went through all different emotions. You made me cry. Laugh.
Gosh.
We all laughed and stuff. So honestly, I definitely appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with us and with the viewers and really digging deep and sharing some private stuff or some emotional stuff, however you want to label it. I definitely appreciate you for doing that and definitely educating us and lupus and you never know, one of the viewers could be watching and they might experience something and they might went to get checked out and it's not that, and it could so you kind of raise awareness to some of the viewers as well too. And I just appreciate what you do every day as far as helping individuals that suffer from mental illness. So I definitely appreciate you, for that as well too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. I am really encouraged by people who are working in fields that are aligned with their purpose in life. So congratulations to you for that, because a lot of people don't have that privilege. And you shine very bright from the inside, and your lighting's amazing. But really good to talk to you and get to hear your story. And we really appreciate you sharing and taking the time to be with us.
Yay! I'm glad I came. Like it was really cool. I can't believe 3 hours went by.
It goes by like nothing.
I know. But yeah, I appreciate you guys doing it. It's just, and I remember Mumbai, you were talking about I forgot whose interview you mentioned it, but just the title legends, that legend can mean anything, don't necessarily mean that you're this big famous person excelling in is it's just about your life and your story, and everybody have a story to tell. So I appreciate you guys allowing me to tell mine. And Karen, I bought the little ring light that, like, I love this thing. I was like, oh, sure, I have my lighting right.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, good stuff. It's working very well for you.
So that was a good investment. Amazon for like $23.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys, and it's so good to meet you both. I haven't known you guys prior to this. So, but Karen, I've seen you.
Okay.
Christine.
Oh yeah. Anything to do with her, then you definitely seen me.
Yeah. So you guys keep doing your thing. God bless you guys. What am I past to say? Can I view this again?
Yeah,
it's on YouTube.
Yeah. Go to YouTube. You could type in Persha name, her full name, Persha Gregg, and then it'll pop up quicker, or you could type v.i.legends. That's our YouTube channel as well too. Our previous all the episodes is on there, so there's a lot of different individuals from the Virgin Islands as well too. Some are Persha friends is on there. Bogus, we have Janae as well too, and a lot of other individuals that share their story with us. So you could definitely check it out, Pastor Pete. So
Yeah.
definitely. But just type in her name and it'll pull up. You could see it anytime. And if you can, subscribe.
Yes, I will be
Like, share, follow.
I will be sure to send out a little thank you and encouraging folks to subscribe and to like. And thank you to everybody that joined and supported us. See all the comments. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, this was fun.
It definitely was fun. And real quick, I wanted to say that too. Was when you was telling your story, was that's the representation of what when we said VI Legends, because it's not about accomplishments. It's just individuals that inspire other individuals, because once you inspire someone, that's gonna always live on forever from generation to generation.
Exactly.
So that's what it's all about. It's not about accomplishments and popularity, and you make it to the NBA or the MLB, or you are top-notch actress or singer. It's just anyone could inspire anyone. So that's what we represent on the platform. So
yeah, a lot of people do a lot of things behind the scenes that if you don't sit down and have a conversation with them, you will never know.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So real quick, we have Brittany Dawson. She's gonna be she's the she's the West Girl ambassador. So we have her on Wednesday, 7 p.m. So she's gonna be talking about the West Girl and the whole the business aspects, as well as Brittany is gonna be talking about herself too as well. And this one should be pretty unique and interesting, because just the history of West Girl and what they have going on as far as the different pins and the symbols and representing the Caribbean, and kind of really representing Virgin Islands women as well too, and supplying everybody with history. So that one should be interesting, coming up on Wednesday, 7 p.m. So that's who we have on next.
Nice.
So, yeah. So all the viewers, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting Persha Gregg and her episode, and all the previous females, women, everyone that came on as well too. I appreciate you guys sacrificing your time and sharing your story with us too as well. I'm not Karen might have something, and then Persha, you're gonna take us out.
Okay, I thought I did that already, but all right.
So you can make it real short. I apologize. I had to plug the next guest, so I apologize.
I just want to say thanks again to everybody for watching. Persha, thanks again for sharing your amazing story. Keep living, keep shining, and we'll be here to do this again on Wednesday.
Hey. And again, thank you everybody for supporting, for viewing. Mamba, Karen, Pang, thank you guys for having me and being such good hosts.
Yes,
I had a
ma'am.
great time, and I really admire what you guys are doing and how you're just giving back and shining a light on so many wonderful people and sharing their stories. So thank you, bless you, and good night.
Hey, y'all.